It's Thursday, July 9th. Prime Minister Mark Carney in Saudi Arabia this morning, the first visit to the kingdom by a Canadian Prime Minister in 26 years. The U.S. and Iran have once again exchanged strikes as the peace deal between the two sides crumbles.
Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you're never coming around.
Bonnie Tyler, who made her mark in pop music with the smash hit Total Eclipse of the Heart, has died at the age of 75. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to your morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Thursday.
We are in for, I looked at mine. I know you're going to say, read our maps, but I looked at my weather app. 37 it said on Sunday. Is that accurate?
Well, with the humidex factored in, it will likely feel somewhere around there. Right now, our radar is saying 33 on Sunday for us here in Regina. It is going to be a hot weekend.
So you're hibernating.
Yeah, I'm staying inside. You know me. I do not do the extreme heat. I am staying inside with my air conditioning.
I'm going to hug my air conditioner. It's 6:01. Let's get to your headlines for this part of the hour. The Saskatchewan government says plans to build an oil pipeline from Alberta to Ontario is positive for our province and the country. The 3,300-kilometer crude oil line would pass through Saskatchewan, creating a potential for a pipeline manufacturing job or two here in the Queen City. Wayne Mantika leads us off.
Canada's steel industry could be a major benefactor if the Northern Shield pipeline proposal goes ahead. Currently, Regina's steel plant is the only one in Canada capable of producing large-diameter pipe. The multi-billion-dollar proposal was announced earlier this week by the premiers of Alberta and Ontario.
By connecting Alberta's energy with Canadian refineries and European markets, we can create jobs, grow our economy, and make the most out of the world-class resources that we've been blessed with.
The pipeline would have a capacity to move 500,000 barrels of crude oil per day from Hardisty, Alberta, to refineries in Sarnia, Ontario, crossing through Saskatchewan and Manitoba along the way. So far, the project does not have private sector backing.
We'll reach out to private sector, but we won't hesitate to do what the government in Canada and Alberta is doing.
Saskatchewan welcomes the proposal. In a statement, it said, the government of Saskatchewan will continue to support major projects that strengthen our energy security and foster economic growth across Canada. Premier Scott Moe met with premiers in Calgary, but was not present at the announcement.
My first thought was conspicuous the absence of our premier in this announcement.
While Saskatchewan is on board with the pipeline proposal, Manitoba's NDP government is not. It's concerned that Indigenous groups were not consulted first. Ontario is working with Indigenous groups to win their support. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
A Saskatoon woman is expressing concerns following the 3 days she spent in the hallway of Royal University Hospital's emergency room. Anne Fournier told media that she went to the ER after vomiting blood, later learning that she had an inflamed small intestine. She says there was an estimated 12 beds in the hallway and many of her fellow patients were not able to access a bathroom, adding that she sent an email to Saskatchewan's Minister of Health expressing her concerns, hasn't heard back yet.
I had to watch as two grown men had to urinate next to me with portable urinals, in full view of us in the hallway and anybody else who happened to be walking past. It was disgusting and not at all what I imagined to see when getting healthcare in Saskatchewan.
CTV has reached out to the province for comment as well. Ottawa's emergency management minister will give an update today on this year's wildfire season. This as New Brunswick's complex fire in BC burns out of control.
Then we have the threat of the jumping the highways. So we will hopefully just be driving down the highways looking for hot spots.
Fire officials have now confirmed structures have been lost in the fire burning north of Boston Bar. They say conditions are still too dangerous for a full assessment. The Brunswick Complex fire includes 2 fires covering an estimated 115 square kilometers. People from 222 properties have been told to leave their homes. Those at another 228 should be ready to go at a moment's notice. Wildfire smoke has led to an orange level air quality in parts of the BC interior. Here in Saskatchewan, 72 active wildfires burning right now. Barricades have gone up at some east central Saskatchewan provincial parks hit by flooding. Sask Park says the barricades are for visitor safety in high water level areas and should not be moved or bypassed, so don't go around them. Duck Mountain Provincial Park remains open, as does the disc golf course, but 2 trails are closed along with 2 marinas, and boat launches are to be used at your own risk. Porcupine Hill Provincial Park near Hudson Bay had 3 boat launches closed along with Saguenay's day use area. Good Spirit Provincial Park is open and operating now as per usual. Some intense storms up in Saskatoon overnight. Did you sleep through them, or did they just wake you up?
I did. I wear earplugs, so I was okay. Although Mike Siona said he was woken up by it overnight. Yeah, it was a pretty nasty thing. It rolled in from the Battlefords area. And yes, Saskatoon did take a direct hit. Saskatoon Fire Department responding to numerous calls around midnight because of downed and arcing power lines that caused multiple small fires in the city. This was a video sent in by viewer Carlene Alexander, taken from a room at the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital. You can see the rain blowing in, and the moment the whole surrounding area goes dark. If you watch, now that area across the river from the hospital was one the city was working to restore power to, along with King George, Riversdale, Meadow Green, and Pleasant Hill. Parts of Varsity View and Sutherland were also dark. The city says they should be up and running by now. A man has been arrested after a 70-year-old woman was stabbed in downtown Saskatoon. Police say they were called to 5th Avenue North and 24th Street East just before 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The victim said she was stabbed by someone she didn't know who tried to take her bag. She was taken to hospital for treatment. A 26-year-old man is facing charges of aggravated assault and robbery. And a Saskatoon business has been fined for unlawfully selling bear spray. The city says a Saskatoon court imposed a $7,000 penalty on a business in the 500 block of 20th Street West that was convicted of selling the spray and not recording the information of the buyer as required. This is the first time a fine has been issued under an updated Saskatoon bylaw that mandates businesses require a buyer to be 18 and older and provide 2 pieces of government-issued identification, among other measures. And then the information must be kept on hand for the city. Changes to the bylaw were made last year in an effort to curb the use of bear spray as a weapon. All right, Daryl, we have an update about Regina's former chief of police.
All right, yeah, we'll get into this, and we'll ignore the fact that you wear earplugs. I got to know about this snoring situation that I think you're dealing with. Former Regina Police Chief Farouk Sheikh is appealing his firing from the service after he was removed for misconduct allegations last year. The Saskatchewan Police Commission is set to hear the appeal between Sheikh, the Regina Police Service, and the Board of Police Commissioners in the fall. Sheikh was terminated with cause in October of 2025 after an investigation into misconduct allegations found he acted in a manner unbecoming of a chief of police and in a way dishonorable of RPS. He had served in the role for just under 2 years. The hearing with the Saskatchewan Police Commission is set to begin September 14th in Regina. Regina's Queen City X is warning you about a scam to offer free gate passes. Now, pay attention to this one if you're a fairgoer. Event organizers say the messages are not real and remind you not to click any links or give personal information and payment information should you receive one. Any official communication from the QCX or Real District will come from an email address ending in real 1884.ca, real1884.ca. People can also check official channels on social media for updates or contact information there. The first practice for the Saskatchewan Roughriders of the week saw some injury-wounded players get back on the field, including A.J. Willett, the running back. He was sidelined with an ankle injury suffered in Week 2 against the Calgary Stampeders, but on Wednesday, he looked pretty good, healthy, ready to go for Sunday's tilt against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Head coach Corey Mace says there's a good chance he will be back in the lineup if he continues to trend in the right direction.
I've been with Coach Mace for a while now, and he knows if something's bugging, that something's probably bugging. And at this point, with the ballers that we got in the backfield, if I'm not feeling 100%, and I feel like someone else can step in there better, I'm going to let them.
Defensive back Roland Milligan Jr. was also on the field Wednesday, listed as a limited participant in practice, so we'll keep an eye on him. It is going to be hot if you are on the certain side of the stadium or anywhere in the outfield at Country Thunder Saskatchewan, or for that matter up at Jazz Fest. There's so many outdoor events, and it's going to be like 36 degrees.
It's going to be very hot this weekend. You are going to want to take extra precautions if you are spending any time outside. If you are vulnerable to the heat, that includes anybody that is a senior, anybody that is a very young child, anybody that is pregnant, take those extra precautions. It is going to be a very hot weekend. We're not quite seeing the extreme heat today. This morning view, though, is looking a little bit damp to start the day. It's brought to you by Stars Lottery. Your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. We're waking up to 17 degrees in Regina. The rain has tapered off, although we saw quite a bit of it throughout those overnight hours. We saw a mix of sun and cloud for the past hour or so here now as that rain has stopped, and winds are coming in at 13 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, also a little bit damp to start the day, as we were talking about a little bit earlier in the newscast. Saskatoon did see some severe thunderstorm action overnight. 11 degrees right now, though, winds coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. So this really is the calm following the storm. Here's a look at the radar and satellite to show you where exactly that storm hit. So it came in from the Battlefords area, hit areas around Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Swift Current, Regina a little bit later on and into early this morning, and it is currently still impacting some parts of the province here. So this is a current look outside. Yorkton seeing some of that right now, still seeing some of it around Estevan as well. It's not going to be sticking around down south for much longer, though. By about 7:30 p.m. we see that fully tapering off. We're still seeing some of that rain up north, though, later on into the morning and into the afternoon as well. This is about 5:45 p.m. we see some more of that thunderstorm action rolling through the south. So areas down through the southwest corner of the province, again, right around Swift Current or Assiniboia, be prepared for more of that thunderstorm activity today. It does seem to taper off before it reaches Regina, but we still do have a chance of seeing some of that into the later parts of the evening. Still seeing some of that up north as well as we continue to see. Friday by about 3:15 p.m. we're not seeing a whole lot down south, but we are still seeing some of that up north. Today's forecast now showing pretty good temperatures. 24 degrees for Regina, 26 in Moose Jaw, 25 in Swift Current, 24 in Saskatoon, and 23 in Prince Albert. So again, temperatures are still going to be fairly nice, just not quite as hot as what we are expecting to be seeing over the weekend. All those areas lighting up in gray for you right now under that special weather statement, talking about that heat dome that is building, meaning that many places in the province, including Regina and Saskatoon, will be seeing temperatures right around or surpassing 30 degrees for Saturday and Sunday.
Researchers are trying to determine whether a blood test can detect tiny amounts of cancer after patients have been treated. The lead investigator says smaller studies have indicated cancer DNA can show up in blood in amounts too small to be identified by CT scans. If the test is positive, patients could get additional experimental treatments to try and prevent the cancer from returning. If the test is negative, it could indicate the patient is fully cancer-free. Researchers say more study is needed at this stage.
The test is still not standard of care because the sensitivity of the test is really important. And just because it's negative may be a false negative. So it's really important for us to study this and to be following these patients very closely to understand if they are truly free from cancer, if they're negative on this test, or if they are positive on this test, whether ultimately the cancer will show up and whether we can act on it to reduce the chance of the cancer from coming back.
The trial also aims to find out if the effectiveness of the blood test varies between different types of cancer.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Well, cool shoes and a cool drink, now you can have both. Check out this new collab from Tim Hortons and Crocs. The limited edition shoes are inspired by the Tim's Ice Cap, featuring the drink's swirl of colors, and there are charms. The collab includes 6 gibbets, as well as 2 sets of Tim's inspired charms and a pouch bag charm. Tim's Rewards members will have early access to the shoes online starting July 12th, so that means you, Daryl.
That means Bailey, our in-studio floor director here, is going to have to get out and get a pair of these because she's got everything else.
Yeah, all the
Mega
other Crocs.
fan.
Yeah, big Crocs fan.
My kid's deep into Crocs. They made a major comeback because they were faux pas forever.
It's
My
true.
my daughter just got a pair of Minnie Mouse Crocs for her birthday.
There you go.
And everybody at daycare has been complimenting them. We love her Minnie Mouse Crocs. They're big.
I have the sandals, and I have one of the pairs of the shoes with the fabric on top, but I've never had the bubble shoes. Have you had the bubble shoes, JD? The standard, like with the shoes that we just showed with the gibbets you can put on the top.
I have Crocs. I've had them for like a decade, but they're for deck use only. I don't wear them out. But my kids, they're big. They'll wear them to high school and everything. It's
Next time I'm in
footwear.
Saskatoon, I'm going to catch Jeremy Dodge in the grocery store in his Crocs.
Yeah, Crocs and socks.
They never leave the backyard.
Socks and sandals were faux pas forever. Now everybody's doing that too. Let's get to our question of the day. It is Jazz Fest in Saskatoon. Country Thunder's set to launch. I think the opening concerts are tonight in the beer gardens with Braden King playing. So we want to know from you, what's the greatest outdoor concert you've ever seen? We've been to a lot of shows, Caitlin. So
we've been to a lot of them. Jason Derulo was amazing.
Derulo was so good at the QCX.
Yeah.
JD, I know you're going to have a great answer for this because you've seen a lot of shows too.
I have. I don't know. I think Craven trumps them all. Honestly, I saw Toby Keith there years ago.
Yeah.
I did go when Taylor Swift was there, but we arrived late and we were so far away. It was like 50,000 people in front of us, so we left before it was over. But though Craven is just always so good. I've seen lots of great shows at the Saskatoon X as well over the years, but I think Craven trumps those.
I got to tell you, the Garth Brooks opening night concert when it rained at Mosaic Stadium, there was something magic about that night. Text us or scan that QR code. Get us your answer. We're going to share those throughout the morning.
Home renovations gone wrong.
He ghosted me completely.
A W5 investigation uncovers a shocking number of Canadians paying for reno projects only to be stuck with unfinished jobs.
It's Pat Foran of CTV News.
What happened when we tracked down one contractor to get some answers? W5 investigates tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
All right, let's track down Mike Siona now and see what he's getting up to this morning. Mike?
Well, joined by Amanda Proby of the Saskatoon Youth Soccer, and we're talking about kids in the park. We're in the park. The kids are in the park. Give us a rundown of this program as it enters, its 19th season?
Yes, so we're in our 19th year, and this program has been widely received by the community. It is totally free, drop in. We travel to 10 sites a day, and we have 2 sets of leaders, so we're at 2 different parks any given hour of the day, hitting 45 sites all summer, and it goes Monday to Friday, 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
That's fantastic. Now, when we're talking about just the ability to register, I mean, the website is where people need to go.
You don't have to register for this program whatsoever. You can just check out our schedule online to see when the program is coming to your park or to a park near you, and just come on by, bring some shoes, although we do have kids oftentimes in their bare feet because we do piggyback on the playground programs at the spray parks and the paddling pools.
Okay, nice. So you can come do a little bit of soccer, get some skills, and then cool off in the spray pad.
That's right, yeah.
Now, let's just talk very quickly in terms of the, obviously, World Cup going on right now. Been a tremendous source of pride for Canada as we made it all the way to the round of 16. How much more has that added to your programming?
I think the hype from this summer and the World Cup is going to be huge this coming indoor season with fall soccer registration ongoing right now. We do anticipate some increases in our registration numbers as we do with every World Cup.
There you go. All right. Well, there it is. Kids in the Park is on right now. Go to the website to find out which park they'll be at on any given day, as Amanda mentioned here, and be a great time talking about it all this morning.
Let's take a look at our national forecast, starting with a look out west. 23 degrees in Vancouver today with a mix of sun and cloud. 24 in Calgary, 24 as well for Saskatoon and Regina today, and a little bit warmer over in Winnipeg, up to 27 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. As we turn our attention out east, it's looking a bit more damp. Toronto with that risk of thunderstorms today, 26 degrees, 23 in Ottawa with that rainfall. Montreal also seeing some rain today, up to 24 degrees. Halifax with a mix of sun and cloud, up to 26 degrees. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. Your average price, $159.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $143.9. In Saskatoon, $155.9 is your average, and you might be able to find it for as low as $151.9. In the farm markets today, we find the street price of canola sitting at $731.75 per ton. The futures price, $783.70 per ton. Amber Durum wheat now at $285.20 per ton, and red spring wheat $284.92 per ton. And the Canadian dollar is up. It's at 70.55 cents US. Coming up, what you need to know ahead of Free Fishing Weekend. Stay with us for the details.
Good morning, 6:30. Let's get to your headlines. Mark Carney, the Prime Minister, in Saudi Arabia this morning. He arrived in Jeddah yesterday and will meet with the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman today. This is the first visit to the kingdom by a Canadian Prime Minister in 26 years. Experts say Mark Carney's visit could lead to investment deals, cooperation on security and defense, and green energy projects. Reporters traveling with the Prime Minister are not allowed to be there when the two leaders meet, so updates will take some time. Prime Minister Carney is set to address reporters after a signing ceremony at Saudi Arabia Canada Investment Forum. Tech giant Meta is set to build a massive data center in Alberta, the company's first in Canada.
This is a big deal for Alberta. It's one of the biggest in Alberta and Canadian history. As this project scales to 1,800 megawatts, it's possible that the total investment will increase.
This will be Meta's 33rd data center globally as it moves to support the artificial intelligence boom. The 1 gigawatt data center will be built in Sturgeon County, about 35 kilometers north of Edmonton. Meta says the project will support 3,000 construction jobs and eventually create 300 new jobs at the facility. There is some pushback to the plan, with some advocacy groups urging the province to take a pause with concerns over frequency, sound, and water consumption. For the second night in a row, the U.S. has launched strikes against Iran.
We just hit them very hard, and I say we hit them 20-1. Every time they hit us, we're going to hit them 20.
The U.S. says it hit a total of 90 targets. Iranian state media is reporting explosions along the southern coast. Iran's health ministry says 14 people have been killed in 2 strikes of the overnight. In response, Tehran says it has targeted U.S. bases in Kuwait, Qatar, and Bahrain with drone strikes. Now, the U.S. military claims the strikes are aimed at protecting shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. A new model of EV made in China has arrived on the Canadian market.
There'll be some early takers, and then once that's established, then you'll start to see, the less expensive options coming into the country.
Now, the model, the Luxuria Lotus Electra, Lotus is owned by Chinese company Geely. This is the first China-owned and made car to be sold in Canada under a deal signed in January. That deal opened the door for 49,000 China-made EVs to be sold in this country, tariff-free. The Electra starts at $119,000, $159,000 fully loaded. Now, affordable options from companies like BYD are expected to hit the market soon. Air Canada has a new CEO. Anko van der Werf is expected to start the job by the end of January 2027. He takes over from Michael Rousseau, who was often criticized during his tenure for not being able to speak French. Van der Werf currently serves as the CEO of Scandinavian Airlines. He is from the Netherlands and speaks both English and French. The final hometown show for the Snowbirds goes this weekend.
They're a special team to Canada. They're Canada's team.
Janet Kitts started a petition pleading with the federal government to rethink the decision to ground the air demonstration team. The Snowbirds are being grounded until at least the 30s.
Even just as a child, watching them fly in the sky, they were just incredible. And they do these amazing performances, and when you're watching, you're just getting this amazing, overwhelming sense of pride that they represent Canada. So for me, that connection is really special, and I think that that's a connection that a lot of other Canadians have as well.
So hundreds from across the country are already throwing their support behind that letter to Ottawa, including local MP Fraser Tolmie, who is expected to present it to the House of Commons later this year. Frontline RCMP officers are switching from grey to navy blue shirts in their uniform starting this month. RCMP officers, including those here in Saskatchewan, will be wearing the new shirts brought in as an effort to modernize the uniform. For the foreseeable future, some Mounties may be seen wearing the grey uniform while on duty. Police say they want people to be aware of the change to avoid any possible confusion. The Regina International Film Festival and Awards are happening this month. 98 films will be screened, some online, some in person, in many different categories, ranging from documentary to short film. The industry programming that is taking place this year includes masterclass and post-production, Broadcaster 101, and music and film speed networking.
Film festivals are always a place where the community is what matters the most. So you go to a film festival, yes, to watch films, but you also go to a film festival to connect with the filmmakers and the other artists that are there.
Festival and Awards this August.
Festival runs August 12th to 22nd. Drone video shot at Mount Etna is giving us an incredible look at some lava flows as it erupts. In this case, instead of running down the mountain, the lava appeared to fall back into a hole at the top. Etna is Europe's largest volcano and one of the most active. Luckily, because of its high altitude, Etna's eruptions rarely threaten nearby populated areas. The World Cup quarterfinals start today with France taking on Morocco. Morocco supporters put on a fireworks show at Boston Common while France fans belted out fight songs at Rose Wharf. Both teams are undefeated so far. Morocco beat Canada, as you know, in the quarters. This is also a rematch for the World Cup semis 4 years ago when France ended Morocco's run. New this morning, pop icon Bonnie Tyler has died. Bonnie Tyler was known for hits like that one, Total Eclipse of the Heart, holding out for Hero and It's a Heartache. Her biggest hit, undoubtedly, Total Eclipse of the Heart, which has more than 1 billion streams on Spotify and 1.3 billion views on YouTube. Tyler was put in an induced coma in May after intestinal surgery. She came out of it last month, but her family said she remained unwell. The statement says she died last night at a hospital in Portugal where she called home. She was 75. Sad news there. Let's get on to the weather forecast, which is a little happier unless you don't love the heat.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of the extreme heat, but it is on the way nonetheless. Just as you always tell me that, you know, I control the weather, I actually don't control the weather. So this is proof because I wouldn't be picking the extreme heat for this weekend. 17 degrees right now to wake us up in Regina, though. We do have winds coming in at 13 kilometers per hour and a mix of sun and clouds. So a little bit of an improvement from earlier on this morning and overnight where we were seeing those severe thunderstorms. Saskatoon also saw those severe thunderstorms overnight. You were likely woken up by that. 11 degrees right now, though. Mix of sun and cloud as well, and winds currently coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. So a very calm start to the day. However, we do have a lot currently happening in terms of these watches and warnings. We did see some yellow this morning in terms of that severe thunderstorm warning right around Yorkton. That has now lifted. We are starting to see that system making its way out of the province. What we still are talking about is that special weather statement. All those areas lit up in gray, talking about that prolonged heat event that is on the way for the weekend. It is going to be dangerous heat. We did also just get a text, and I want to give a shout out to the viewer that just texted in, because we're not just talking about vulnerable people, we're also talking about pets. Protect your pets this weekend. Don't leave them in your cars. It's going to be very, very hot. Protect them on those walks as well, as that can be hot on their paws. Usually we leave the 7-day forecast for the end of these weather segments. I'm going to jump right into it now because I do want you to pay attention to this weekend. 31 on Saturday in Regina, 33 23 on Sunday. That's going to be the actual values. It's going to be hotter or feeling hotter with those humidity values. So again, take a lot of precautions this weekend and stay hydrated. Here's a look at Saskatoon as well. Not quite as hot as Regina, but still getting into those 30 degrees. Still going to be very warm overnight as well. Again, just take those precautions. It's not going to be quite as hot getting into next week, though. Monday 24, Tuesday 24, Wednesday 26. So now that we have the weekend out of the way, let's talk about current temperatures across the province right now. 16 degrees in La Ronge and South End, 13 in Prince Albert, 13 in Melfort. Down in the south, we're seeing 12 degrees right now to wake you up in Kindersley, 17 in Moose Jaw, 17 in Weyburn, and 16 in Estevan. The extreme heat is not starting today. It's going to be warm, but it's not going to be extreme. Some areas are going to be getting into that extreme warmth tomorrow. So enjoy this more mild day while you still can. 24 for Saskatoon and Regina today, 26 in Moose Jaw, 25 in Swift Current. Risk of some thunderstorms later on in the day in Weyburn and Estevan up to 28 degrees.
For those of us who love summer weather, now is the time to get out and enjoy it. If you love fishing, there are even more exciting opportunities for you and free ones. It's Free Fishing Weekend coming up. Jason Manley of GetFishing.ca is with us. Jason, thank you so much for being here. We say Free Fishing Weekend. There are still rules, though.
100%. If you go to Saskatchewan.ca/fishing or go to our Facebook page, GetFishing.ca, you can read up on all those rules. And it's extremely important to do that, Daryl. It's not a free-for-all to keep whatever you want. And you really need to know your species. Like, for example, you can keep more perch than walleyes. You need to know the difference.
What are some of the things that we need to know if we do head out there? We don't need a license, but we do need some things.
Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest one you do need is what we've got in our hands right now. You need a rod and reel combo. Now, this is a lighter unit. For a lot of people who are going to be going out for the first time, you're going to be shore fishing. Yeah. So shore fishing gets a little tricky this time of year because of the weeds growth and everything else. So what you want to do is focus on fish like smaller walleyes and perch if you're going shore fishing that you can get from shore. So that's why I've got a float sitting there, and that'll help keep your bait up out of those weeds so you'll be able to cast from shore and be able to pick up fish at the same time.
Well, I mean, what are some of the things we need to have success? Rod and reel is the obvious. Yeah. But how do we properly equip these things if we don't really know what we're doing?
Absolutely. So what you want to do is, as I say, this is a lighter outfit, as is that. You got 4-pound test in here, 6-pound in this. So you want to make sure and get that loaded up with your rod and reel with the proper weighted line to be able to do that, and get yourself some small jigs and even some artificial baits. Like this one's been pretty hot this summer for me, the one GT with the rattle head, and it's essentially a jig or a swim bait, they call it.
If you don't know what you're fishing for, like how do you pick the right line?
Yeah, well, generally speaking, if you go with 6 to 8 pound test, 6 is better. You can be able to land something like a perch, something lighter, smaller, but it's also, if you play them right and set the break, or what they call the drag on your rod and reel combo, you can land something bigger like a bigger walleye, or even a 10, 15 pound pike if you do it right.
Are we at the 5 of diamonds style right
Absolutely.
now? Out to Len Thompson's?
When you go out, that is your go-to, that is your start, and of course the spoons, everything comes in different sizes, so I'm really glad you brought that up, because smaller spoons are good to get you started, but you can obviously throw bigger things that are, maybe 3 or 4 centimeters long in some cases to be able to attract those bigger predators.
Again, Free Fishing Weekend, first time for a lot of people. Can you teach us how to properly cast a line?
Yeah, well, I can't really hear. I don't quite have
tight quarters.
But what you want to do when you've got a spinning outfit is you flip the metal ring over and you hold it with your finger, and then you essentially throw it to where you want it to go.
And release the finger.
Yeah, and then release your finger, exactly. And then most reels, you turn the handle, the bail or the ring will click over, and then you'll be able to keep reeling, but some you have to manually turn over. And the other thing that's a good tip, Daryl, is look at the spool, flip it over, and give the line a bit of a pull, because if it lands here or here, sometimes it'll spin and you'll get a twist, and then 20 casts later, this big ball of line will come out, and you'll be crying because you got a mess on your hands.
And that's going to be the rest of your day.
Exactly.
More information at getfishing.ca.
These shirts and sweaters sold at Walmart show off Saskatoon's skyline. But there's one pretty big problem. Those mountains in the background, definitely not part of the Prairie City.
It's clearly AI. You can just kind of tell. Why wouldn't you just make that on your own when it's super simple and something you can easily make by just taking a picture?
They have a goose in there, a Canadian goose. Like, I guess that's a good try, hey?
I don't like it, to be perfectly honest.
They should probably have if they're going to sell something like that, maybe have a local designer instead of AI, because it looks not good.
Here's our pterodactyl-like bird.
Over at Discover Saskatoon, the design is getting a few laughs. While CTV News could not confirm exactly how the image was made, the tourism group says if you're going to sell Saskatoon merch, it should be created by a local artist who actually knows what the city looks like.
It's great that like a store like Walmart wants to put, representations of cities and, where the city they happen to be in their stores. It's just, let's be a bit more accurate.
Tech expert Carmi Levy says AI-generated mistakes are everywhere online, but they're increasingly making their way into the physical world.
The image on this T-shirt is certainly something that doesn't exist in real life, and it's a perfect example of how AI can get things spectacularly wrong, especially when the humans who are using it have no idea what they're talking about.
The shirts are manufactured by Gildan. The company tells CTV News it only supplies the blank apparel and had no role in creating or printing the image.
This happens when quality control takes a day off.
We reached out to Walmart asking how the design made it onto store shelves, but did not hear back by deadline. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
All right, let's head out to Janelle Lippi now, who is spending her morning exploring the beautiful handmade treasures at the Odessa Market. Good morning, Janelle.
Good morning, Jeremy. We're having a lot of fun already, and Angela Lang is with me. This time around, we're talking all things summer products. Angela, thank you so much for being back with us.
Well, welcome back. It's been a little bit of time where the store's actually just celebrating its first anniversary. We opened a year ago, last July, and what an adventure it has been already.
Absolutely, it has been. Happy one-year anniversary. Tell me a little bit about some summer products. What are your favorite picks so far?
Well, some of the more popular items in the store is our all-natural bug spray. Can't go anywhere in Saskatchewan without finding something that wants to bite you. If you have the aches and pains or maybe need some help sleeping at night, our magnesium oil spray, huge reviews on how powerful this little spray is. Or maybe you're heading out to a campfire, you need to keep warm at night. We've got some great Saskatchewan hoodies. This one has all the towns and cities of Saskatchewan on the front, and on the back, all of the villages. You become an instant conversation piece at your next backyard gathering. Everyone wants to find their hometown. We also have another hoodie. This one is gorgeous. It is an embroidered Saskatchewan hoodie. And then for the littles, we've got some rompers. And these are so sweet, handmade locally, and with the tie straps, they are adjustable for years to come. We have a couple of different varieties.
Oh, these are adorable.
Right, and some bigger sizes as well. Some little dresses for the girls, some little tractor t-shirts for the boys.
These are so sweet, Angela. We are having a ton of fun here. We will be back soon. I think right now we should let camera op Ashley maybe take a little look around. I think she's got some shopping to do.
There's...
It's July 9th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Emma. Today is her 8th birthday. We hope you have an awesome time celebrating with love from your mom, dad, Cliff, and Candy. And happy birthday to Ryan. We're told he is the best dad ever and that his family loves him so very much. Have a fantastic day celebrating, Ryan.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
Country Thunder weekend, and I know you got a lot of artists prepared with the boots, right? Because it sometimes gets muddy out there. I'm prepared for you because you tend to leave concerts just a shade early. You got to get up and do your job and all that. So I've got this beauty coming for you. It's just going to weigh you down to your seat so you can sing some Creed with me.
Do you just keep that with you at all times?
This is our studio camera operator. I call him Sandy.
Okay, so cameras will be crashing out, but I will be staying late into the night at Country Thunder.
Worth it.
That's a risk I'm willing to take. We were actually out there setting up yesterday. The grounds were looking great. We did get a little bit of rain overnight, but with that heat over the weekend, things are going to be drying up nicely out there. If you are going down, setting up, remember gates will call camping. All starts opening up today at 9 o'clock. You can find that up on our website too, so get ready for it. We'll have Cardboard Riley Green on the Main Street today about 2 o'clock, so find him, and that can get you some meet and greets with the real Riley Green, and we have some more lined up all weekend long. So keep on finding us, get it entered, and hopefully we can make that experience that much better for you, and we won't even have to cement you down for anything.
You destroyed thousands of worlds. What are your thoughts on that?
We're getting a look at the new trailer for Dune Part 3. The highly anticipated finale of the Dune trilogy stars Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, and Florence Pugh. The space epic soars into theaters December 18th. The Cheetah Girls are making a comeback. Original Cheetah Girls star Raven Simone confirmed on her Instagram that a fourth film in the franchise is officially coming to Disney Channel. The Cheetah Girls Next Gen will reunite Raven Simone with original stars Adrian Bailon and Sabrina Bryan. The film is slated to begin production in South Africa later this month. Disney is the parent company of ABC News. Justin Bieber will be joining the FIFA World Cup final halftime show as a co-headliner. He'll perform alongside previously announced artists like Madonna, Shakira, and BTS. The FIFA World Cup final will take place on July 19th. And happy birthday to two-time Academy Award winner Tom Hanks. He turned 70 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
Well, some experts say it's important to let kids pick their clothes so they develop independence. At the beginning of the video, we see Maria's daughter wearing only outfits chosen by her parents. So cute, right? But then she starts dressing herself, and it gets a little chaotic. And this is a glimpse into our very near future, my current future, because Mateo does this, and you're very near.
Yeah, I'm still in the phase of picking out my daughter's outfits, so we haven't hit this yet.
I'd love to see Jeremy try to lay out clothes for his teenagers.
Yeah, right? That would go so well.
I'm going to burn this, Dad. Oh, my goodness. We're going to save some time for the next hour. We got your weather forecast, which involves a lot of heat. So if it's too hot out there for you, it's too hot out there for your pets. We're back after this. Welcome to Thursday, July 9th.
And you can see the hot spots jumping in front of it already.
BC fire officials now confirming structures have been lost in that out-of-control wildfire.
I had to watch as two grown men had to urinate next to me with portable urinals.
A Saskatoon woman is expressing concern following a 3-day stay at Saskatoon's Royal University Hospital. Big day, eye on the prize. World Cup quarterfinals begin today. Morocco taking on France. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Thursday.
Advice for people who have to be out in the heat this weekend. There's going to be a lot of them.
Just stay inside.
Just stay inside.
Skip all the events.
All 30,000 of you that are going to Craven, just...
Yeah, you know what? No, I love Craven. It's just you have to protect yourself. Hydration, hats, frequent breaks inside.
And just for that, I'm sending you to weather out on the Craven grounds tomorrow. 7:01, let's get to news. That was her choice. It's becoming an all too familiar phrase for healthcare in Canada, hallway medicine, when patients in hospitals are treated in hallways because all the beds and rooms are full. Well, one woman in Saskatoon providing a dire diagnosis for Saskatchewan Care after her experience. Hallie Mandrick leads us off.
The days that Anne Fournier says she spent in the hallway of Saskatoon's Royal University Hospital awaiting care for an inflamed small intestine was a troubling experience.
I had to watch as two grown men had to urinate next to me with portable urinals, in full view of us in the hallway and anybody else who happened to be walking past. It was disgusting and not at all what I imagined to see when getting healthcare in Saskatchewan.
The Saskatoon resident says she went to the emergency room after vomiting blood and spent the next 3 days in a bed located in a hallway adjacent to the emergency room, adding that she sent an email to Saskatchewan's Minister of Health expressing her concerns and had not heard back.
It's got so much worse and nothing seems to be done about it. It's like, it'll rectify itself, but that's not how it works. It can't be rectified unless something's done. We need to retain members of staff. We need to be attracting medical people.
In a statement to CTV News, Minister of Health Jeremy Cockrell said, quote, "Extended stays in hospital hallways are not the experience we want for any Saskatchewan patient. As Health Minister, I regularly have opportunities to visit healthcare facilities, including emergency departments across our province. Our government is listening to patients and healthcare workers, and their feedback informed our Patients First healthcare plan, which includes detailed next steps for improving access to hospital emergency and urgent care," adding that he plans to correspond directly with Fournier regarding her email. The president of the Saskatchewan Union of Nurses says situations like this one are increasingly common and contributing to retention issues.
We're putting patients in an unsafe situation, but we're also putting nurses in a really bad situation to have to respond with not the appropriate resources and having to, really fight between morals of doing what is right and giving people the dignity they deserve with minimal resources that they have.
The province says it's working to expand inpatient capacity at Saskatoon hospitals by 146 beds and also points to the urgent care centre, which is currently under construction. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Ottawa's Emergency Management Minister will give an update today on this year's wildfire season. This as New Brunswick complex fire in BC is burning out of control.
Then we have the threat of the jumping the highways. So we will hopefully just be driving down the highways looking for hot spots.
72 wildfires burning actively in Saskatchewan right now, by the way. Fire officials have now confirmed structures have been lost in BC at the Boston Bar fire. It's just north of that community. They say conditions are still too dangerous for a full assessment. The Brunswick complex fire includes 2 fires covering an estimated 115 square kilometers. People from 222 properties have been told to leave. 228 more ready to go at a moment's notice. Wildfire smoke has led to an orange level air quality in the BC interior. Some intense storms in your neck of the woods yesterday, Jeremy Dodge.
Yeah, Daryl, seeing on social media lots of people telling the tales of how they made it through last night with the very loud, very intense thunderstorm. Saskatoon did take a direct hit from that. And the Saskatoon Fire Department responded to numerous calls around midnight thanks to downed and arcing power lines that caused multiple small fires. This was a video sent in by viewer Carlene Alexander. It was taken from a room at the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital. You see overlooking the parkade there. The rain blows in, and after a bit, the whole sky lights up, and then the whole surrounding area goes dark. That was seen right across the city. The area across the river from the hospital was one that the city was working to restore power to, along with King George, Meadow Green, Avalon, and Pleasant Hill. Parts of Riversdale, Varsity View, and Sutherland were also dark, but the city says those areas should be back up and running by now. A man has been arrested after a 70-year-old woman was stabbed in downtown Saskatoon. Saskatoon police say they were called to 5th Avenue North and 24th Street East just before 3 o'clock on Monday. The victim said she was stabbed by someone she didn't know who tried to take her bag. She was taken to hospital for treatment. The 26-year-old man facing charges of aggravated assault and robbery. That was Tuesday that happened. A Saskatoon business has been fined for unlawfully selling bear spray. City says a Saskatoon court imposed a $7,000 penalty on a business in the 500 block of 20th Street West that was convicted of selling the spray and not recording the information of the buyer as required. This is the first fine issued under an updated Saskatoon bylaw that mandates businesses require a buyer to be 18 and older and provide 2 pieces of government-issued identification, among other measures. And the information must be kept on hand for the city. The changes to the bylaw were made last year in an effort to curb the use of bear spray as a weapon. Right, Daryl, we have an update on Regina's former chief of police.
That's right. Farouk Sheikh is appealing his firing from the service after he was removed for misconduct allegations last year. Saskatchewan Police Commission is set to hear the appeal between Sheikh, the Regina Police Service, and the Regina Board of Police Commissioners in the fall. Sheikh was terminated with cause in October 2025 after an investigation into misconduct allegations found that he acted in a manner unbecoming of a chief of police and in a way dishonorable to RPS. He'd served in the role for just under 2 years. That hearing set for September 14th in Regina. Prince Albert police say the death of a 60-year-old man earlier this week is not criminal. He was found in a home in the 300 block of 32nd Street West Monday afternoon. An autopsy was scheduled for yesterday and investigators were looking into the death. Police now say foul play was not a factor and this death was deemed natural. RCMP have charged one person in connection to a break-and-enter and arson at a Saskatchewan high school. Officers were called to the school on the Onion Lake Cree Nation on June 27th, where they were told someone had broken in. While searching the school, they found evidence of a fire that was suspicious. No one was in the building at the time. A 22-year-old from Onion Lake Cree Nation now facing a string of charges, including arson, break-and-enter, theft, and mischief. He made his first court appearance earlier this week. The average asking price for rent in Canada is still falling. Now, a new report says the average price last month was $2,033. That's down more than 4% from June last year. It's also the 21st straight month of year-over-year decline. While asking prices were down year-over-year, rent paid ticked up 0.2% from May to June, so still pricey. NASA is looking for volunteers, 4 of them, willing to spend a year in a simulated space habitat. The Moon and Mars exploration analog will take place at the Johnson Space Center in Houston. It will mimic conditions astronauts are expecting to experience on the Moon and Mars. It will have 2 isolated habitats, a spacecraft and a base facility with workspace, living area, and sleeping quarters. Participants will simulate months-long flights to and from celestial bodies and do things like mock Mars walks and use a rover to travel and explore. The data gathered will help NASA design safe human missions to the Moon and Mars. This is going to begin August 2027. Kayleen, are you about to ask for a year off?
You know what? I was just thinking about that. Would I do it? I think the answer is yes. I have to imagine that job pays well.
Do you still get like TV and regular real food?
I'm going to guess yes.
Probably simulated, maybe no.
Maybe.
It's going to be hot.
We have questions to ask.
It's going to be hot this weekend.
It is going to be hot this weekend. We have a lot to talk about in the Weather Center, from the active weather overnight to the heat dome that is building and moving in for our weekend. Right now, it's not exactly hot, but it's warm. It's a pleasant start to the day. We're at 17 degrees to wake you up in Regina. We have some winds coming in at 20 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, 13 degrees, a bit more of that cloud cover. So it's a bit gloomy to start the day, but better than overnight when we were seeing that severe thunderstorm. Winds are going to be picking up today compared to the past couple days, especially in those areas that are lighting up in yellow, and a little bit of that red color coming in from Alberta in the later parts of the afternoon, indicating that we could be seeing winds between 40 to 50 kilometers per hour with those gusts later on. Before that, though, the earlier start to the day, we're seeing winds up to about 30 kilometers per hour. So not so bad, but we are still seeing a little bit of that precipitation. This is a current look outside, so of course seeing some of that rain up north, and the last little bit of that thunderstorm system that made its its way through the south is right now hanging out right along that border with Manitoba and around Yorkton there in the Parkland region. It is going to be pushing off into Manitoba in the next hour or so here, but then later on in the late afternoon and early evening hours, we have more of that thunderstorm activity rolling through the south as well as the far north. Parts of central Saskatchewan going to be seeing a bit of a break from that today, though. Into Friday morning, looking pretty clear. Just a bit more of that rain moving in for the north into the afternoon hours. Tomorrow, we do have between a 30 to 40% chance of seeing some afternoon thunderstorms, though, for Saskatoon and Regina. It's not super likely, more likely that we'll be seeing a mix of sun and cloud. Today's forecast, though, temperatures looking pretty good. Nice and warm. 24 in Saskatoon and Regina today, 26 for Moose Jaw and Swift Current. Smaller risk of some thunderstorms down through Weyburn and Estevan, 28 degrees, and 26 in Yorkton. You do see that rain icon there again. That's likely to be pushing off in the next hour or so here. So that will change. But the weekend, as we mentioned, is going to be hot. 27 tomorrow, 31 on Saturday, and 33 on Sunday. Those are just the actual temperatures. That does not factor in the humidity. So it is going to be feeling even hotter. Again, take precautions to protect people in your life and protect your pets as well. 26 degrees by Monday, 23 on Tuesday, and 25 on Wednesday. In Saskatoon, not quite as hot as down south, but still seeing those 30-degree temps Saturday and Sunday. Again, this heat is going to be quite excruciating if you are spending all day outside. So take breaks inside with that air conditioning on Saturday and Sunday. Now for a look at our rural forecast. We're seeing nice temperatures today, but we are seeing the risk of some thunderstorms in some areas, including Hudson Bay, 23 degrees, 24 in Watrous, 24 in Outlook with the mix of sun and cloud. Down in the south, again, expecting to see just a little bit of rain today throughout the later parts of the afternoon. 27 in Rockland, 28 in Coronach, and 27 degrees in Carlisle with that risk of some thunderstorms. Let's take a look at Manor, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 26 degrees this afternoon. That is above the seasonal average. We do have that risk of a thunderstorm still. Winds, though, will be pretty calm, only coming in up to about 25 kilometers per hour.
Let's go back out to Mike Siona now, who's learning about the next generation of the beautiful game in Saskatoon.
Well, Declan O'Reilly is all done up in his Team Canada FIFA World Cup jersey. That's what that is. But it's not about you or I or our generations, but rather the kids in the park. Talk to me about your company's support of this program.
So we're in our 9th year of supporting Kids in the Park. It's a brilliant program. Amanda at Youth Soccer has put this together 19 years ago, and we got on board about 9 years ago to support her and getting kids out of the house and away from the computers and the cell phones and into the field playing in the park, because the next Mappy is in behind us here. The next Messi this is where he started. He started playing, kicking the ball around, and the more we can get the kids out of the house, the better it is for everybody.
No doubt, and obviously through your support and all the work that Amanda and Saskatoon Youth Soccer do, it's a completely free drop-in program that runs all summer long, Monday to Friday. How important is it and how rewarding is it to see the kids out here playing?
Well, it has to be free. Soccer has, by tradition, been the most accessible sport for anybody. It's more accessible than hockey and any other sport, and anybody can come out. We could drop a soccer ball here and we could start playing ourselves. So it's very, very important to me that it's accessible to as many kids as possible without any hindrance, and so that we supply the balls, we supply the equipment, and we supply the coaches, and we want to keep it as accessible as possible to as many kids as possible in every part of Saskatoon as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely wonderful. We appreciate the support. I know the kids are having a great time here. He mentioned the coaching. We'll talk to a couple of the leaders here before the morning's up.
Thank you very much, Mike. We'll hear from you again in about an hour.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
You know, my lifelong goal now is to be in a Hallmark movie, right? I want to show up on screen during Christmas season so my wife can go, oh, that'd be great. John Oliver, the late night host, he is now living out his dream in a soap opera.
Someone is demanding to see you.
Demanding?
How exciting.
After pitching himself on Last Week Tonight, which is his show, he was cast for guest roles on both Days of Our Lives and General Hospital. On GH, he got to play a mysterious spy known as Z. One of the conditions was that he gets slapped in the face on the show, which did happen. So he's just over the moon right now.
This is amazing.
He would play a good spy,
Looks
right?
like
The accent, he's got the look.
Looks like he darkened his hair.
He might have, yeah, just
little
a touch, just a tinge.
That's great.
Showbiz, baby.
So awesome.
So we're asking you today, what's the greatest outdoor concert that you've ever seen? We asked and Saskatchewan delivered. Let me tell you, we have not had a question of the day this popular in a long time. Leanne reminiscing on that best outdoor concert being AC/DC in Edmonton in 2015. Even through rain, it was amazing. Lori saying Morgan Wallen in Edmonton last year. He played on my birthday.
Nice of him to schedule that for Lori's birthday.
Very nice of Morgan Wallen. Stephanie saying hands down Garth Brooks. Went to both shows. Karen S. agreeing it's got to be Garth Brooks in Regina for a stadium tour. Hands down the best.
I was there too. The first night on the rain was so much better to me than the next night, and they're both great.
A little bit of magic, right?
Yep.
Debbie saying it could have been the answer for the other morning where we were saying what have you never done, and it shocks people, but she's never been to an outdoor concert. Closest thing is myself and two besties singing on a balcony in Hawaii, which I would have loved to be there. I think that sounds so much fun. I want to be singing in a balcony or in Hawaii.
Hopefully your neighbors didn't ask for a refund for that free show.
Michelle B saying seeing Alabama at Craven was the greatest show for me. Blake Shelton was pretty amazing too. I was also at that show. That was really good. Stacy saying it's got to be Tim McGraw, Denver, Amphitheater, Craven, Garth Brooks here at the new stadium in Shake the Lake.
Wow, somebody saw Janis Joplin.
Yeah, in Calgary in the 1970s.
Okay.
Wow, that would have been a good show. Carol saying Garth Brooks at Mosaic Stadium, Brian Adams.
Oh, Sir Paul. How did we forget about Sir Paul?
Yeah.
The Queen City. That was a few
Sir Paul
number of years
McCartney,
ago.
Gary submitting that answer. We just have had so many great answers so far. Couldn't even fit all of them in, so we're going to be sharing some more answers next hour. You still have time to get your answer in. Text us at 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan that QR code on your screen.
Air Canada has named its next CEO. Anko van der Werf is expected to start the job by the end of January 2027. He takes over for Michael Rousseau, who was often criticized during his tenure for being unable to speak French. Van der Werf currently serves as the CEO of Scandinavian Airlines. He's from the Netherlands, speaks both French and English. A new model of an EV made in China has arrived on the Canadian market.
There'll be some early takers, and then once that's established, then you'll start to see, the less expensive options coming into the country.
The model is the luxury Lotus Electra. Lotus is owned by Chinese company Geely. It's the first China-owned and made car to be sold in Canada under a deal signed in January. That deal opened the door for 49,000 China-made EVs to be sold in Canada, tariff-free. The Electra starts at $119,000, $159,000 fully loaded. Affordable options from companies like BYD are expected to hit the market soon.
All right, time for our morning mystery. It is a place today. Here are your 3 clues to play along at home. Despite being named after a specific place, the movie was shot almost entirely in Burbank, California. The release date was pushed up for propaganda purposes to coincide with Allied attacks in the Second World War. So we're talking about an old movie here. Despite popular belief, the main character never does say, "Play it again, Sam."
I know this one.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite movie.
That's right. I did know that.
You know this.
Yeah.
Well, this is my nicest rating yet. Casablanca.
Why doesn't he say, what does he say instead of play it again, Sam?
He just says play it.
Yeah.
If she can stand it, so can I. Casablanca.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Here's looking at all of you, kids. That's your morning mystery. And this is my mic still going crazy.
Hello, everyone. Nikki Reyes inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. Let's head to Cincinnati. Reds hosting the Phillies top three. Bryson Stott hammers a high fastball to center field. TJ Friedl tracking, and he leaps and makes the outstanding catch, banging the wall for good measure. Friedl hanging on to make the sensational grab, robbing Stott of extra bases. That is your must-see moment. Today on TSN, the quarterfinals begin at the World Cup. Canada would have been playing had they won their last match. Instead, it's Morocco taking on France. Kickoff slated for 3 Central. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
Time now for a look at our national forecast, starting with a look out west. Prince George, 21 degrees with that cloud cover today, and 23 in Vancouver. 24 degrees for Calgary. A little bit of rain on the way for Edmonton today. A high of 21. 27 over in Winnipeg. A few degrees warmer than us here in Saskatchewan for Regina and Saskatoon, that is. But they are expecting some more rain today. And also expecting rain a whole lot of places in Ontario today. Toronto with that risk of a thunderstorm. 26 degrees. Ottawa, 23. Also seeing some rain over in Quebec, Montreal, 25 degrees today with that rain. And over on the East Coast, Halifax, 26 with a mix of sun and cloud. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices. In Regina today, your average price is $159.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $143.9. In Saskatoon, your average price today, $155.9, and you might be able to find it for as low as $151.9. In the farm markets today, we find the street price of canola sitting at $731.75 per ton. The futures price, $783.70 per ton. Amber durum wheat now at $285.20 per ton, and red spring wheat $284.92 per ton. The Canadian dollar continues to trend up. It's now at 70.55 cents US. After the break, World Cup quarterfinals kick off this afternoon as Morocco looks to upset France. Stay tuned.
Time to say good morning. It is 7:30. My name is Daryl. Here's what's making news. The Prime Minister arriving in Saudi Arabia overnight for meetings with the Crown Prince. The Prime Minister arrived in Jeddah overnight, where he will meet with the Crown Prince at the palace. That meeting will be closed to reporters. The trip is aimed at deepening economic ties between Saudi Arabia and our country. But speaking earlier today, the Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand says she raised Canada's human rights concerns during her meeting with her Saudi counterpart.
Let's be clear. Engagement doesn't mean endorsement. It is necessary in order to fulfill the intentions of Canadian values, to represent those values on the world stage, to bring those values to the table. And in my meetings, I always raise human rights, consular cases, and the need for respect for international law.
Prime Minister Carney will take part in a signing ceremony later this morning at the Saudi Arabia-Canada Investment Forum. He will also speak to reporters right after that. Tech giant Meta is set to build a massive data center in Alberta, the company's first in Canada.
This is a big deal for Alberta. It's one of the biggest in Alberta and Canadian history. As this project scales to 1,800 megawatts, it's possible that the total investment will increase.
This will be Meta's 33rd data center globally. It moves to support artificial intelligence booms. Now, the 1 gigawatt data center will be built in Sturgeon County. That's about 35 kilometers north of Edmonton. Meta says the project will support 3,000 construction jobs and then 300 jobs annually at the facility. This is getting some pushback with the plan, with some advocacy groups urging the province to take a pause with concerns that you've heard here in Saskatchewan over frequency, sound, and water consumption. On Saturday, the RCAF Snowbirds were set to begin their annual hometown show, but after the federal government announced earlier this year the team would be temporarily grounded, this could be the last in Moose Jaw for quite some time, and has prompted a local woman to lead the charge in pleading with Ottawa to rethink that decision. Donovan Mace reports.
Born and raised on a farm just south of 15-wing Moose Jaw, Jana Kitts would watch and wonder the Canadian Forces Snowbirds practices as the team flew over her family's home.
To me, they're
They're more than an air demonstration squadron.
But after learning in May the team would be grounded at the end of this air show season, she began researching the best way to keep that from happening.
They do these amazing performances, and when you're watching, you're just getting this amazing, overwhelming sense of pride that they represent Canada.
Kits has since started a petition to the federal government aiming to have the Ministry of Defence rethink its decision to ground the team. Her letter to the House of Commons requests Ottawa continues the Snowbirds operations, even as it searches for new aircraft for the team.
They're a special team to Canada. They're Canada's team. It just feels like that Canadians don't want to lose that in the transition period.
Hundreds of Canadians from coast to coast to coast have already supported her petition.
This is something that's ours. We're not going to let it go.
It caught the eye of local MP Fraser Tomey, who was quick to get behind the campaign.
That shows the passion of our community. Jana is someone, a resident within our community and recognizes the importance of the snowbirds, not just in the city of Moose Jaw or the province of Saskatchewan, but across.
And as the snowbirds ready for their annual hometown show at the Moose Jaw Airport Saturday, Kits hopeful it's not the last.
If we were able to see them continue in some capacity, it just really inspires a person to keep voicing concerns on matters that they're passionate about, and I think it just gives us a lot of hope.
After garnering enough signatures to be presented to the House of Commons, Tomey expects to read Kit's petition when Parliament resumes this fall. Donovan May, CTV News, Moose Jaw.
Frontline RCMP officers are switching from gray to navy blue uniform shirts. Starting this month, RCMP officers, including those here at home, will begin wearing new shirts brought in as part of an effort to modernize the uniform. For the foreseeable future, some Mounties may be seen in gray still while on duty. Police say they want to be letting you know so that you know that this is a change that has happened and avoid any possible confusion. World Cup quarterfinals start today with France taking on Morocco. Competition's already started in Boston. Morocco supporters putting on fireworks in Boston Common while France fans belted out songs at Rose Wharf. Today's game will see two of the top teams at the tournament collide. Both teams undefeated so far. Morocco beat Canada on its way to the quarters. This is also a rematch of the World Cup 4 years ago when Morocco's run was ended by the French. No pool? No problem. With temperatures set to soar, parents are still searching for those fun things to do at the garden hose, maybe, keep kids cool. But one mom is turning it into art. Here's Danny New.
As we head into the thick of summertime.
Wow! That is so good.
One family in Iowa has been utilizing their hose to both stay cool and create art.
What do you call them?
Water silhouettes.
That is pristine. Over the past 2 summers, Carter, Parker, and their mom, Megan, have been picking up millions of views online as they arrange themselves delicately in the driveway to create outlines of whatever comes to mind. One pediatrician commenting, "This is so creative."
I'm a proponent for whatever keeps them outdoors. Whatever we can do to stay outside in the summer and run around off the screens whenever possible.
For Megan, making these water silhouettes is something she said they just did around the neighborhood growing up, whether it was against a driveway or even a fence.
Did you think everyone did that?
I thought it was a common thing growing up, at least, like back in the 90s, 2000s.
But clearly, Carter and Parker have taken the concept and run with it. Using a towel and water cooler to sketch out Mary Poppins. Or making use of an umbrella and a stuffed animal to print Pride Rock from Lion King on the driveway. And it's a good thing they get these creations on camera, since
It dries pretty quickly. Like, we do each section and then it dries. Like, by the time if we do one and then do another, the other's probably dried by then.
Well, good thing they don't seem to be running low on ideas.
We have a lot of fun with it.
And I love getting wet and getting cool.
For the record, because some people south of Iowa were wondering, Megan said they usually make the driveway creations in the mornings before it gets too hot. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
You might want to do that and a whole lot more. Western Canada expecting to feel the effects of a heat dome building in the U.S.
That is a high-pressure area. It's like putting a lid over a large section of geography. And this time, it's going to be over the western part of the United States, and it's going to, again, seep into Canada.
The heat dome is expected to settle over the western U.S. this weekend. Temperatures set to soar in the Rockies and northern plains. Environment Canada senior climatologist David Phillips, who you just heard from there, says southern prairie communities like ours will feel the heat of the heat dome the most. He says the area can expect lots of sun, lots of temperatures that could be up to 10 degrees warmer than seasonal. Kayleen, just exactly what does that mean for us here if we're going out to events like Country Thunder this weekend?
It means that if you are spending any time outside this weekend, you have to take precautions and be prepared for that heat. Don't just go out and think, oh, I'll find shade. Make that plan. Make the plan to say, I'm going to stay hydrated. I'm going to be wearing my sun protection like sunscreen and a hat, and I'm going to protect those who are vulnerable around me. So young children, pregnant people, seniors, and yes, you have to be protecting your animals this weekend as well. Don't leave any animals in any hot vehicles this weekend. 17 degrees right now, though, to wake you up in Regina. We have a mix of sun and cloud, and we have some winds coming in at 20 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, 13 degrees, so a little bit cooler to start the day. Again, a mix of sun and cloud. Winds are very calm, only coming in right now at 6 kilometers per hour. Those winds are going to be increasing this afternoon, though, likely up to about 35 kilometers per hour for Saskatoon and Regina, and even stronger for some other areas just north of Saskatoon. Now, we're also talking about a special weather statement currently in effect. Now, that is in regards to that heat dome that is building. So this is just telling us that all those areas that are lit up in gray going to be very, very hot this weekend. We are still seeing some of those air quality statements in effect in the parts of the north. Now, let's talk about that 7-day forecast because it shows us just how much temperatures will be spiking this weekend. Again, these are the actual values. This does not account for the humidex values, so it's going to feel even hotter than what it is showing here. 27 tomorrow in Regina. We do have about a 30 to 40% chance of seeing an afternoon thunderstorm. It's not for sure. 31 on Saturday, though, and 33 on Sunday. Again, it's going to be feeling even hotter than that. Stay protected. 26 by Monday, so a bit of some relief there. 23 on Tuesday with some cloud cover and 25 on Wednesday. In Saskatoon, up to 27 tomorrow. Again, still seeing a small chance of, or a risk rather, of seeing some thunderstorms in the afternoon. Don't worry too much about it, though. It's not really taking shape on our radar quite yet. 30 degrees on Saturday and Sunday, though. Could be feeling hotter. 24 on Monday and Tuesday. A bit more cloud cover rolling through on Tuesday, though, and 26 on Wednesday. Here's a look at your smoke forecast because we did just mention that we still have some air quality statements in effect in the province. This is a little bit of an increase in terms of the smoke that we have been seeing in the past few days. So again, if you are very sensitive to the smoke in the air, you might want to be closing your windows today. 16 degrees in La Ronge right now, 14 in Prince Albert, 18 in Hudson Bay, and circling back down to the south, 16 degrees to wake you up in East End, Assiniboia, Weyburn, and Estevan.
My Swedish boy over FaceTime. Oh no, opening up would make me a headline. Boots, that's my ego boost. Schedule ain't been loose for a minute. Yeah, I'm that girl I've been in. Ha, ha, ha,
Well, if you've ever parked under a tree in summer and come back to find your car covered in that sticky mess, aphids are likely to blame. Fortunately, Regina has a unique and environmentally friendly solution. Today, more than 200,000 ladybugs will be released in Victoria Park to help naturally control that aphid population. And here to tell us more, we have Ashley Thompson. So, Ashley, this has become quite a unique tradition in Regina. Why ladybugs? How do they actually work to control the aphid population?
Yeah, so ladybugs can eat up to 5,000 aphids in their lifetime, which is quite a bit. They're really hungry little helpers.
Okay, so what kind of damage can the aphids actually cause if we just let them run rampant in the summers?
Yeah, they can do quite a bit of damage to our trees and our plants all over. They also have tons, like you said, a lot of sap that falls off the trees. They can spread diseases as well to trees, different pathogens and stuff, so they can do quite a bit of damage.
So the city has been doing this for about 10 years or so now, so it's such a fun little tradition. People can come to an event today in Victoria Park. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the event starts at 9:30. We'll be handing out roughly 200,000 ladybugs. There'll be face painting and other activities there as well. Supplies will be handed out while they last. There'll be some treats as well.
And from what I was reading, families don't actually have to release them in the park. They can come, get some ladybugs, and release them wherever they want. Is that correct?
Yeah, and it would actually be great the more they are dispersed, the better. So if they want to take them home, they can take them home. They can put them in the fridge and leave them till the evening. It's actually better to do it in the evening and release them at home or in their parks or wherever they see fit.
Interesting. I didn't know that. You can put the ladybugs in the fridge.
Yeah, that's where they've been stored since we got them, actually. They kind of go into hibernation. So.
Where did the city get 200,000 ladybugs from?
So we source them out of a company in Ontario, but Ontario does source them from California.
Okay, so let's say, hypothetically, a family is watching this. They're saying, this sounds amazing. I want to come today. I'm going to get some ladybugs and I'm going to release them in my backyard. Are there any ways that people can make sure that they stick around their backyards?
Yeah, so, I mean, making sure there's a food source, so putting them around plants in your yard as well. They really like moisture, which luckily we've had a lot of it lately. But watering your garden or your lawn before you release them will help them stay.
All right, anything that you're most looking forward to in today's event in the park?
Just seeing all the kids, how much they love it. They just get so excited. It's great. It's a great event.
All right, one more time for people who want to come today. What time does it start? What time does it end? Anything they need to know before they come?
It starts at 9:30. It's in Victoria Park. You can ride transit for free if you tell them you're coming to the Ladybug Day event. There's free parking in the Cornwall Centre. It ends at 11. That's about it.
All right, thank you so much. Once again, that was Ashley Thompson. You can help the city control the aphid population. Go to Victoria Park, 9:30 today. Take some ladybugs home, release them anywhere in the city, and we're going to help control that population. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Here's what's happening in our community. 2026 MSI computer camps are happening July 6th through 10th, starting at 8 a.m. in the University of Regina's classroom building. Visit compcamps.com. A community market is on July 10th, 8:45 a.m. at 701 Park Avenue in Esterhazy. Email reneeanderson76@gmail.com. The Capel Valley Art Show and Sale is on July 11th, 10 a.m. at the Sacred Heart Roman Catholic Church in LeBret. Call 306-529-2144. And Drop Zone is on August 22nd. Raise funds to support Easter Seal Saskatchewan. Sponsor limited. Register now at dropzoneyqr.ca. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca, and click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
The Odessa Market, putting community creativity front and center, and Janelle Lippi spending her morning learning all about the local talent. Good morning, Janelle.
Jeremy, local talent is of abundance here, as you can see from these lovely hats that we've got on. And of course, if you're interested in buying one yourself, you can come right down to the Odessa Market, but you can also make them. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, our local artist, Karen Schmellenberg, has started creating these hats along with her sister and a good friend of hers, and they have an opportunity for you to come and join one of their classes where you get to customize your own hat.
All right, now Angela, it has been 1 year since all of this really came to life. What has changed since then?
Well, you know, the store started out with just a very few select vendors, and we have grown to over 60 vendors now with complete renovations of the store. The bookshelves along that back corner were added during the Christmas break, and it's just the market has just grown and filled almost every single space in the store.
And some permanent jewelry as well, which is a stunning thing. You do that yourself, is that right?
Yes, it's available at the Odessa Market whenever I am in the store, and we have a sale to mark our first anniversary. It is a buy one, get one 50% off sale on all permanent jewelry.
So you really won't want to miss out on that then. It's a great deal.
It is a great deal, and we have that on today until July 23rd. So be sure to check our Facebook page for our hours every week. We are closed for a few days at the very end of July, but we are here for the rest of the summer to help you out.
All right. Well, once again, that is Angela Lang right here at the Odessa Market. Tons of fun things to come check out. You can make your own hat, and I don't know, I think I might have to bring Daryl to come try this out. I think this would suit him very well.
Great in one of those hats. Janelle, thank you very much. We'll see you again in a little while.
July 9th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Emma. Today is her 8th birthday. We hope you have an awesome time celebrating. With love from your mom, dad, Cliff, and Candy. And happy birthday to Ryan. We're told he is the best dad ever and that his family loves him so very much. Have a fantastic day celebrating, Ryan.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
All right, Chase, are you still set up on Main Street with lots of sunscreen and water and things like that for people out there at Country Thunder?
Absolutely. Honestly, I'm going to have so much sunscreen on me for this weekend. If you just bump up against me, you'll just get a contact sunscreen. So that's my gift for everybody this weekend.
What a gift.
Before you were saying you're bringing sandbags to make sure I'm staying out there late. What I've decided to bring now for Country Thunder is Ziploc bags. And anytime we get close to a headliner, I'm just going to get some of that air in the Ziploc bag, because someone tried to sell air they claimed was from Taylor Swift's wedding last week, and they were selling it on eBay for $50,000. Now, it's gone now, and I'm hoping just because eBay made them take it down because it was ridiculous and no one actually bought it, but I'm not quite sure at this point. There was also a guy out there who was just collecting garbage from around the perimeter, and he's selling that for $25 a pop. Does put him in that little glass cube. Looks really nice. So we'll share a little bit more of that on the way.
I mean, you used to be able to buy air guitars on eBay, and we all know that's just silly.
I still got 8 hanging in my basement. They are beautiful.
Let's take them a lot of space. You should probably clear those out. You all at home singing the rest of that song. Tributes are pouring in this morning for Bonnie Tyler, including from Bryan Adams, after news the Welsh-born singer had died at the age of 75. Tyler's gravelly voice featured on the 1984's Holding Out for a Hero, and her #1 Total Eclipse of the Heart, which you just heard there, shot her to the top of the charts. Tyler's family releasing a statement saying that she passed away Wednesday night in a hospital in Portugal. Tyler had been placed in an induced coma following intestinal surgery, but was expected to make a good recovery. All
right, well, have you ever seen candlestick ice? Yes, this is real. It's candlestick ice. It's a natural phenomenon that occurs in the spring when the lakes start to thaw. The decaying ice forms vertical, candle-like columns, like you can see in this video. If your timing is just right, you can go paddling through it, and this is in Banff.
Oh, beautiful. Short drive.
Looks cold.
Gorgeous.
Does look cold. Looks
Yes.
very, don't want to take a dip in that.
But very cool.
Some
Yeah.
kids are working on their style. Others may have gotten theirs from the 80s, like this girl. Liz says she bought those magnetic triangle tiles for her daughter to build castles
Those
instead.
are so cool.
Daughter had other ideas and hung them from her earlobes.
I know what I'm doing when I go home. I have these exact triangle tiles, and I have an experiment to do.
I was putting them on the inside and outside of my kids' shirts and pants, walking around with them all over the place.
I saw a kid online
Trying to get them out.
that was putting them like this magnetic squares around the dog in the shape of the dog as he took a nap.
It's like dominoes.
They're so fun.
Time out. Let's reset. We got you more headlines and, of course, that sunny forecast coming up in just a minute. Welcome to Thursday, July 9th.
I had to watch as two grown men had to urinate next to me with portable urinals.
Saskatoon woman expressing concern over the state of health care in Saskatoon.
They're a special team to Canada. They're Canada's team.
A Moose Jaw woman pleading with federal government to rethink grounding the snowbirds.
He was a great teammate, and ultimately we're going to have to look at that ugly mug forever.
Call to the Hall, a former Rough Rider and Stampeder elected to the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Thursday.
How hot is it going to be today? Because I got to do public address announcing for the Regina Red Sox over Curry Field.
Not bad today. 24
Today's
degrees
okay?
today for Saskatoon and Regina. So a very mild day today, but the heat dome is building. The weekend is going to be hot.
What is a heat dome?
It's just it's
Concentrated
it's the pressure
heat?
in the atmosphere. It's building. It's bringing the heat to us.
It's a horror movie in real life. 801 for a lot of people. Maybe not you. Maybe you love it. A Saskatoon woman expressing concern this morning over the 3 days she spent in the Royal University Hospital emergency room's hallway. And Fournier told news outlets that she went to the ER vomiting blood, learning later that she had an inflamed small intestine. She says there were an estimated 12 beds in the hallway, and many of her fellow patients were not able to access a bathroom. She emailed the Minister of Health expressing her concern.
I had to watch as two grown men had to urinate next to me with portable urinals, in full view of us in the hallway and anybody else who happened to be walking past. It was disgusting and not at all what I imagined to see when getting healthcare in Saskatchewan.
CTV News has reached out to the province for comment. Health Minister says he will talk to her. Barricades have gone up around some east central Saskatchewan provincial parks hit by flooding. SaskPar says barricades are for visitor safety in high water level areas and should not be gone or don't go around them. Basic message here. Duck Mountain Provincial Park remains open, as does the disc golf course. 2 trails are closed along with 2 marinas, and boat launches are to be used at your own risk. Porcupine Hill Provincial Park near Hudson Bay has 3 boat launches closed, along with the Saginaw day use area in Good Spirit Provincial Park, which is open and operating as usual. Some intense storms in your area, Jeremy.
Yeah, we had a big thunderstorm roll in from the west last night, and Saskatoon took a direct hit. The Saskatoon Fire Department responding to numerous calls. Around midnight they started, thanks to downed and arcing power lines that caused multiple small fires. We have this video that was sent in by viewer Carlene Alexander. This was taken from a room at the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital. You can see the rain blowing in the lights there, and then after a bit the whole sky lights up and then the whole surrounding area goes dark. Watch for it. That area across the river from the hospital, the city was working to restore power to, along with King George, Meadow Green, Avalon, and Pleasant Hill. Parts of Riversdale, Varsity View, and Sutherland were also dark, but those areas have now gone green. City says they should be back up and running by now. They're working to get to the rest. A man has been arrested after a 70-year-old woman was stabbed in downtown Saskatoon. Saskatoon police say they were called to 5th Avenue North and 24th Street East just before 3 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. The victim said she was stabbed by someone she didn't know who tried to take her bag. She was taken to hospital for treatment. A 26-year-old man's facing charges of aggravated assault and robbery. And a Saskatoon business has been fined for unlawfully selling bear spray. City says a Saskatoon court imposed a $7,000 penalty on a business in the 500 block of 20th Street West that was convicted of selling the spray and not recording the information of the buyer as required. This is the first fine issued under an updated Saskatoon bylaw that mandates businesses require a buyer to be 18 and older and provide 2 pieces of government-issued identification, among other measures. The information must be kept on hand for the city. Changes to the bylaw were made last year in an effort to curb the use of bear spray as a weapon. All right, Gerald, we have an update on Regina's former chief of police.
That's right. The Saskatchewan Police Commission is set to hear an appeal between former Chief Sheikh, the Regina Police Service, and the Regina Board of Police Commissioners in the fall. He was terminated with cause in October 2025 after an investigation into misconduct allegations found that he acted in a manner unbecoming of a chief of police and dishonorable way to the RPS. This hearing is set to begin September 14th in Regina. Saskatoon shirts on sale at a local Walmart, leaving some a little bit puzzled. Double takes happening. These shirts that you're seeing on your screen, and sweaters as well, supposed to show off the city skyline, but the mountains in the background have drawn a little bit of criticism because, well, there aren't any. Some shoppers are getting a kick out of what is believed to be an AI-generated design, while others say if you're going to sell Saskatoon merch, it should be done by a local artist.
It's clearly AI. You can just kind of tell. Why wouldn't you just make that on your own when it's super simple and something you could easily make by just taking a picture?
They have a goose in there, a Canadian goose. Like, I guess that's a good try, hey?
I don't like it, to be perfectly honest.
They should probably have if they're going to sell something like that, maybe have a local designer instead of AI, because it looks not good.
CTV reached out to Walmart to ask about the design, how it reached store shelves, not getting a response just yet. Saskatchewan Roughriders back at practice on Wednesday, preparing for their showdown with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and got some walking wounded back on the field. Here's Jacob Carr.
AJ Ouellette, or the one that Rider fans affectionately know as Thor, was back to being a full practice participant on Wednesday after suffering an ankle injury in Week 2 against Calgary. The veteran running back, who will turn 31 this month, says at this point in his career, he trusts in himself and his head coach to make the right decision when it comes to managing injuries.
I've been with Coach Mace for a while now, and he knows if something's bugging, that something's probably bugging. And at this point, with the ballers that we got in the backfield, if I'm not feeling 100%, and I feel like someone else can step in there better, I'm going to let them.
With Ouellette missing weeks 4 and 5, it was Quali Conley stepping into the starting running back role, running for just north of 100 yards in his 2 starts. Head coach Corey Mace said Conley filled in admirably, but is happy to have Ouellette back in the fold.
Obviously moving the ball, but also, picking up blitzes and doing all the nuances that we ask of that position. But, AJ's he's our workhorse, and I thought the extra time off was good for him. He looked awesome today, so, everything trends that way. We hope to see him out there.
For Ouellette, he says the nicks and bruises are part of the game given his downhill, create contact style of playing running back. And while he doesn't plan on changing up his game, he has been consulting with running backs coach Andrew Harris on how to make little tweaks to lessen contact somewhat and elongate his career.
He preaches on it every day, and we work on it during individual. And anytime we're in the meeting room, hey, you could have been here, you could have got a little bit more green grass here. Why are you going into contact like this? Stuff like that. So, yeah, something we work on every day.
For Rider fans, some more good news at practice as Roland Milligan was in the mix on the field while being listed as a limited participant. The team has 2 more full days of practice before Sunday's home game against Hamilton. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
And some good news this morning. A former Saskatchewan Roughrider heading to the Canadian Football Hall of Fame.
By a couple of points here in the first quarter. Pressure from behind. Ball pops loose, and are the Riders on it? Pressure on Rourke. Can they turn it over? Who it is? Charleston Hughes.
Defensive end Charleston Hughes joins Brandon Banks and Sean Millington in the class of 2026. Hughes played 14 seasons in the CFL, 3 of them here in Saskatchewan, picking up 136 quarterback sacks, 5th best in the CFL's all-time list. He was notified by the head coach of the Rough Riders, former teammate Corey Mace.
Corey, what did it mean to you to deliver the news to Charleston Hughes he was going into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame?
So cool, so cool. Never been a part of anything like that. To have the honor to break the news to Chuck, that was awesome, man. We've had a lot of time, obviously, together. Much deserved, incredibly happy and proud for him and his family. What an honor.
What can you say about the career he had up here?
Incredible. Having the time to play next to the guy, just incredibly smart and understanding the game. He knew always when to pick his spots. Crafty, no matter where he was at, he had success. The career, the numbers speak for itself, but was a fun guy to be around all the time. Was a great teammate, and ultimately we're going to have to look at that ugly mug forever.
All right, earlier I asked a question, what is a heat dome? And you briefly explained it, but could you go more in depth on that?
Well, I said it's atmospheric pressure, but here is a better explanation of it. I whipped this up in the time that you were reading the news, Daryl. So what is a heat dome? Because that's what we've been talking about for the past couple days here. That's what's on the way for the weekend. It is a large area of high atmospheric pressure, and it parks over a certain region. In this case, it's going to be over all of southern Saskatchewan in the coming days. That trapped air, it sinks, it compresses, and it bakes under that direct sunlight because clear skies usually accompany these events, and it continuously amplifies on the surface for the temperatures being hot for days or sometimes even weeks on end. For this case, it is going to be for the weekend specifically, for some places into the early parts of next week, not so much for Saskatoon and Regina, though. We're really only talking about hot temperatures in the major cities for Saturday and Sunday. Now let's take a look at this morning view. It's brought to you by Stars Lottery, your ticket fund's life-saving care across Saskatchewan. We're at 17 degrees right now, mix of sun and cloud, and winds coming in at 19 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, the warmth is starting to come. 15 degrees right now. Again, a cloudy and fairly gray start to the day after that severe thunderstorm that rolled through overnight, and winds currently coming in at 6 kilometers per hour. Let's talk about current temperatures across the province now. 16 degrees in Buffalo Narrows, La Ronge and South End, 17 in Nipawin, and 18 degrees now in Hudson Bay. Down in the south, again, things are warming up. We're already at 19 degrees in Swift Current and Moose Jaw, 18 now in Weyburn and Estevan, 18 as well in Yorkton, and 16 degrees to wake you up in Wynyard. Into the afternoon today, again, we're not really talking about any of that extreme heat today. About 22 degrees for the Battlefords, 24 in Saskatoon and Regina, 28 in Weyburn and Estevan. Again, we're talking about a risk of some thunderstorms there later on into the afternoon hours. Yorkton saw some of that rain this morning. Could be seeing some of it later on in the day as well. 26 degrees today and 25 on for Swift Current this afternoon. Let's talk about more of this weekend. So 27 tomorrow, 31 though on Saturday, and 33 on Sunday. Again, this is part of that prolonged heat event that Environment Canada has been warning us about. Humidex values going to be even higher than those numbers, what you're seeing. So you're going to want to take a lot of precautions to protect yourself this weekend. In Saskatoon, 27 tomorrow, 30 degrees on Saturday and Sunday. We are expecting some fairly clear skies on those days. 24 on Monday, 24 on Tuesday with a bit more of that cloud cover moving in, and 26 by Wednesday.
July 9th, 1960, 7-year-old Roger Woodward survived after his boat engine died on the Niagara River and he went over the falls. July 9th, 1947, Buckingham Palace officially announced the engagement of Princess Elizabeth and Philip Mountbatten. July 9th, 1993, the Parliament of Canada passed the Nunavut Act, leading to the 1999 creation of the province.
Put your bad bags on, join me home, we'll have some fun when the flag strikes one. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock till broad daylight.
And in 1955, on this day, Bill Haley and his Comets rocking around the clock, topping the Billboard charts as one of the best-selling singles ever.
Well, in case you missed it, Justin Bieber is headed to the FIFA World Cup.
Anytime, just take your time, honey, I get it, I get it, I get it. The way you got me all in my head.
Yes, Biebs, the latest to be added to an already stacked lineup for the first ever World Cup final halftime show. Organizers have confirmed the entire musical performance will last 11 minutes. Now, the laws of football don't allow a halftime interval to be longer than 15 minutes. And we all know FIFA will never bend the rules. There are some concerns given the time likely required to set up and disassemble the show. But there's Bieber, there's Madonna, Shakira, and BTS scheduled for the show happening July 19th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey.
Put them in all four corners and just let them compete for attention at the same time. All those sounds coming to you.
Going at once, yes.
Leads us to an obvious question of the day. Greatest outdoor concert you've ever seen? We got a flood of answers.
Yeah, so many. And I apologize if we don't get to your answer. There was just so many. Sean saying the Outkast concert. Sheena saying Edgefest in Calgary in the 90s. Seeing Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, Sean was shaking it like a Polaroid picture.
Yeah, we had Metallica in Chicago 2024. 2 nights, 2 different sets. Absolutely the best I can imagine.
Oh, wow.
Joe saying back in May we drove to Green Bay. We saw Dierks Bentley and Luke Combs. And definitely the best concert they've ever seen.
Out in Lambeau. I hope they were doing leaps.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had another answer saying it's a tie. One Horse Town in Moose Jaw, which was James Barker Band, John Party, Jess Moskaluk, and Darius Rucker. And the other, of course, Garth Brooks. We had Roland at School of Rock saying can't wait for Foo Fighters in September at Mosaic Stadium.
Already planned his future.
That's going to be his favorite. Yeah. Another one saying in the 1980s, the Everly Brothers played the Regina Exhibition Grandstand, and it was fabulous. We also had Bob Hayes and Prince Albert saying August 1978, Ottawa, the Eagles, Hotel California Summer Tour, Chilliwack. We had the Eagles, and yeah, great concerts.
Well, there we go. We got a few options, and Jeremy, good news is Director Corey says he's got a room in his house all ready for you for that concert.
I can't wait.
You're going to be the best of buddies. That's our question of the day for today.
My mom had already had a child in Sicily who had passed away from thalassemia.
So when John Principato, on the right, and his brother Sandro were born, their symptoms were immediately recognized. Thalassemia, a genetic blood disorder that causes extremely low hemoglobin. A person with one copy of the faulty gene may have mild symptoms or none, but inheriting a copy of the gene from each parent leads to low hemoglobin in the red blood cells.
Red blood cells we need to be alive. They carry around the oxygen and help our organs to grow and thrive and function.
Thalassemia major, the more serious form, requires frequent blood transfusions, something John says was made easier by having his brother beside him as they went through treatments. And iron chelation, a process to remove excess iron from the blood. Some patients use a pump several times a week. John has an automatic pump.
While there have been gradual improvements in blood transfusions and chelation therapy, a big step for thalassemia patients was the recent Health Canada approval of a gene therapy called Casgevy.
But the funding for the therapy, which costs more than $2.8 million, is still being negotiated by the provinces. Thalassemia is especially prominent in people of certain ethnic backgrounds: Italian, Greek, and those from the Mediterranean, North African like Egypt, the Middle East like Saudi Arabia, South Asia like India and Pakistan, China, and Southeast Asia like Vietnam and the Philippines.
With more immigration coming from areas of the world where thalassemia is common, it is becoming more common in Canada.
John and the Thalassemia Foundation say it's important for more people to get tested to find out if they are carriers, especially if they're planning a family.
It's not well known, although there's many cultures that it affects. And so getting the word out there that thalassemia is something that you need to think about.
Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Health Report. brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Okay, it's time to head out one more time to the pitch in the park and track down Mike Siona.
Well, Clayton D'Souza is one of the program leaders here for Kids in the Park with Saskatoon Youth Soccer. Clayton, just talk about how fun it is to watch these kids come out here and play and learn their skills.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's great to see all these kids coming out to play. And I know for when I was a kid, I would have loved to do something like this. So it's great to see all these kids having fun. And I think it's a really great way for them to learn and to grow their fundamental skills. And who knows, maybe they'll be playing for Canada one of these days.
Yeah, there you go. A lot of hype, obviously, built around the World Cup. Are you seeing it from the kids? Are they, a little extra charged up maybe this year?
Oh yeah, for sure. I always ask them what their favorite player is. They're all over that World Cup. So yes,
I love that. Now, from your perspective, because this is a free program that circles all the way around the city, so you guys are here for an hour, then boom, 15 minutes later at a different park. This does some work here for you guys, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, especially when it gets hot. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to do this for the kids and to see them all get excited about soccer, because that's the main goal here.
I love that. All right, Clayton, we'll let you bounce back there. Go hang out with the kiddos. And if you want, you've got all summer long to get your kids out to the park. Just go to the Saskatoon Youth Soccer website, find the schedule, completely free. And I think, it runs Monday to Friday right through the bulk of the summer.
Hello, everyone. Nikki Reyes inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday forward. Let's head to Cincinnati. Reds hosting the Phillies top three. Bryson Stott hammers a high fastball to center field. TJ Friedl tracking, and he leaps and makes the outstanding catch, banging the wall for good measure. Friedl hanging on to make the sensational grab, robbing Stott of extra bases. That is your must-see moment. Today on TSN, the quarterfinals begin at the World Cup. Canada would have been playing had they won their last match. Instead, it's Morocco taking on France. Kickoff slated for 3 Central. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
And welcome to another edition of X's and O's with Wes Cates. The Riders enter this week's game with a 3-1 record after that victory in Ottawa against the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who do not have Bo Levi Mitchell. Suffered that long-term injury last week, so you're going to get either Trey Ford or Jake Dolegala. That's a way better situation than Bo Levi. He was having an MVP season.
Yeah, Bo Levi's been playing some good ball, and he's definitely somebody that you don't want to have to face if you don't have to. I think the Riders would have probably rather see Hamilton at their best, but hey, we got Trey Ford or Jake Dolegala. I know the defensive players and the Riders in general have some history with Jake, with him being here for a couple of years. And then you look at Trey Ford. Trey Ford has really had some success against the Riders when he's played them, and especially in Saskatchewan. So it'll be interesting to see how things shake up. We know Trey Ford was listed as the backup to Bo Levi Mitchell, but maybe they're just playing it by whoever has the better week of prep at practice this week for Hamilton.
Yeah, Josh Bell should have some interesting schemes defensively for Trey Ford, because he's fast and he can throw the long ball, but it just seems a lot of times he's making wrong decisions, and that could be key for what he sets up. And defensively, hey, they had some great stands in that fourth quarter against Ottawa, getting some good push from the line, and that's good to see because it's been a bit of an issue.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing that the Riders defense doesn't have to see Bo Levi Mitchell, because actually Hamilton's defense has been playing some good ball too. The Riders have been working through some little kinks here and there, but they seem to have taken a step in the right direction. All it be against Ottawa, but Hamilton's defense is also tops in the league as far as points against. I think they're up there in sacks, and their linebacking core has been getting tackles all over the place. So it's definitely going to be a tough one for the Rider offense. We'll see if the defense can step up and make some plays to help the offense out.
Yeah, and if that offense can have the lead, though, my goodness, he is your Mariano Rivera of the New York Yankees, the closer. Tommy Stevens, as a running back, I mean, he's not making the great cuts, but you got to be pretty impressed with how he's able to get some 12 yards even on a sneak.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you think about NFL guys, like Taysom Hill from, the Saints, or even you go back to Cam Newton back in his heyday, that's what you see with the Tommy Stevens. He's a smart guy. He understands the blocking schemes, and he's looking to take it the distance. So it's not like he's just trying to fall forward and get the first down. He's trying to make plays out there, and he did a great job of it finishing off Ottawa last week. I mean, they really couldn't do anything with him. With that extra blocker coming from the running back position and then adding Tommy Stevenson into the run game, Tommy Stevens into the run game, sorry. Yeah, it was great. I wish we could see more of it. It might open up the offense even more.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they kind of add a little more Tommy Stevens, say, in the first 3 quarters to see if it can help out with the running. Connolly's been great, too, but we'll see what happens against Hamilton. It's going to be a hot one, folks, so if you're going to this game, get ready to drink lots of water, as it could feel like it's in the 40s by the time this is kickoff. And we'll tell you what happens and look at the bye week coming up on another edition of X's and O's.
X's and O's, brought to you by Campion College at the University of Regina.
Good morning, Tanseh. Welcome back to the program. Fresh off the NATO summit in Turkey, Prime Minister Mark Carney is in Saudi Arabia today. Graham Richardson tells us the visit, the first official one by Canadian Prime Minister in more than 25 years, comes as the two countries work to rebuild diplomatic ties.
Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand met with her counterpart today here in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, and she says she did raise consular cases and human rights with him. This comes as Canada and Saudi Arabia warm up relations. Back in 2018, they were very frosty indeed after then Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland tweeted out publicly criticism about Saudi Arabia and its human rights record. Saudi Arabia responded by sending the Canadian ambassador home. That was a low mark, say business officials here, Canadian business officials. They call this a high mark. They say there is great room for improvement between the two countries. They have been warming up relations since 2023. Prime Minister Mark Carney meets Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman today for the first time in more than 25 years. A Canadian Prime Minister here on an official visit. We will hear from Mr. Carney later today. Graham Richardson, CTV News, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Thank you, Graham. The Saskatchewan government plans to build an oil pipeline from Alberta to Ontario. Positive for the province and the country. The 3,300-kilometre crude oil line would pass through our province, creating potential for pipe manufacturing jobs in Regina, as my voice fails. Wayne Mantika reports.
Canada's steel industry could be a major benefactor if the Northern Shield pipeline proposal goes ahead. Currently, Regina's steel plant is the only one in Canada capable of producing large-diameter pipe. The multi-billion-dollar proposal was announced earlier this week by the premiers of Alberta and Ontario.
By connecting Alberta's energy with Canadian refineries and European markets, we can create jobs, grow our economy, and make the most out of the world-class resources that we've been blessed with.
The pipeline would have a capacity to move 500,000 barrels of crude oil per day from Hardisty, Alberta, to refineries in Sarnia, Ontario, crossing through Saskatchewan and Manitoba along the way. So far, the project does not have private sector backing.
We'll reach out to private sector, but we won't hesitate to do what the government in Canada and Alberta is doing.
Saskatchewan welcomes the proposal. In a statement, it said, the government of Saskatchewan will continue to support major projects that strengthen our energy security and foster economic growth across Canada. Premier Scott Moe met with premiers in Calgary, but was not present at the announcement.
My first thought was conspicuous the absence of our premier in this announcement.
While Saskatchewan is on board with the pipeline proposal, Manitoba's NDP government is not. It's concerned that Indigenous groups were not consulted first. Ontario is working with Indigenous groups to win their support. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
New this morning, pop icon Bonnie Tyler has died.
Now I'm only
me falling apart.
Feel free to sing along at home. Bonnie Tyler was known for hits like Total Eclipse of the Heart, Holding Out for a Hero, and It's a Heartache. Her biggest hit, of course, that one on your screen you just heard. More than 1 billion streams on Spotify and 1.3 billion views on YouTube. Tyler was put in an induced coma in May after intestinal surgery. She came out of it last month, but her family said she remained unwell. A statement says she died in Portugal, where she called home. Bonnie Tyler was 75. The final hometown show for the Snowbirds goes this weekend.
They're a special team to Canada. They're Canada's team.
Jenna Kitts, who you just heard from there, started the petition pleading with the federal government to rethink the decision to ground the air demonstration team. The Snowbirds are being grounded until at least the 30s.
Even just as a child, watching them fly in the sky, they were just incredible. And they do these amazing performances. And when you're watching, you're just getting this amazing, overwhelming sense of pride that they represent Canada. So for me, that connection is really special, and I think that that's a connection that a lot of other Canadians have as well.
Hundreds from across the country have already thrown their support behind that letter to Ottawa, including the local MP Fraser Tolmie, who is expected to present it in the House of Commons. Members of Saskatchewan's tourism sector gathered in Saskatoon to showcase summer events and attractions across the province with a goal of encouraging more residents and visitors to make the most of the season. Stacey Hine reports.
In Saskatchewan, summer is everything.
That's why tourism organizations from across the province are encouraging residents and visitors to get out and explore this summer, including the Saskatchewan Science Centre's new exhibit, Journey to Space.
You get the opportunity as a visitor to come and explore and see what it's like to actually live in space on the International Space Station. You might actually even meet Jeremy Hansen in a flat cardboard cutout kind of way, but he's there.
Ethica is a kingdom waiting for a king.
That trailer is for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, which will play at the Science Centre's IMAX Theatre next week. The centre is one of just 41 theatres worldwide screening the film. Wanuskewin Heritage Park is also highlighting its summer activities. Co-executive director Andrew McDonald says the site has been a gathering place for First Nations across the Northern Plains for thousands of years. To help more people experience its history and culture, the park is offering admission by donation every Sunday in August.
So we're really blessed to be working with a lot of fantastic people within the community who help us to achieve our mandate of showcasing Northern Plains Indigenous cultures.
The Western Development Museum is also hosting a range of events throughout the summer. Creative Saskatchewan's summer lineup includes a songwriters showcase at Country Thunder in Craven this weekend, where artists will take to the stage each afternoon to perform their songs and share the stories behind them. From museums and music to more than 40 summer festivals across the province, tourism organizations say there's no shortage of ways to make the most of a Saskatchewan summer. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Country Thunder isn't the only music event in Saskatchewan this weekend. The TD Saskatchewan Jazz Festival underway in Saskatoon. Live music echoed through KW Nasser Plaza Wednesday as people gathered to enjoy one of the festival's free outdoor shows. Free scientifically the best price, as you know. Tuesday night's show featured indie artists Modest Mouse, drawing a record-breaking crowd for the Jazz Festival at over 4,500.
We have adopted a new phrase with our rebrand that we've just done, and it's Prairie Loud, No Wrong Notes. And it is really speaking to what jazz is. Jazz is an experimental genre. It's about rebellion. It was punk rock before there was punk rock. And really, if you get into musicology, music history, jazz and the blues are the foundational genres of all contemporary music.
The festival continues through to Friday with the final show featuring Bruce Coburn on the main stage. The message there is going to be water and sunscreen.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're really heading anywhere this weekend, water and sunscreen is the big main message. Check in on your loved ones and keep your pets inside for the most part. 17 degrees to wake you up in Regina now. Mix of sun and cloud. Of course, it was a kind of cloudy, gray start to the day. We did see some thunderstorm activity in both Regina and Saskatoon overnight. Winds right now are coming in at 19 kilometers per hour in Regina. A bit more gray and cloudy through Saskatoon, 15 degrees, and winds very calm
thunderstorm to start the day, currently coming in at 6 kilometers per hour. The winds will be going up this afternoon, a bit stronger than what we have been seeing in the past few days. Now, Futurecast showing that that system we were seeing right around Yorkton has started to push off into Manitoba with that storm activity from overnight. Still seeing some of that rain, though, far up north into the afternoon today. We're also going to be seeing some more thunderstorms starting to roll through. It's going to be in the late afternoon into the early evening hours. Overnight, right around 11:45 p.m., we see this thunderstorm now approaching Regina. Moose Jaw and Regina will be seeing some precipitation overnight yet again. By Friday morning, about 8:45 a.m., we're looking pretty clear in the province, but more rain on the way for central and northern Saskatchewan by Friday afternoon. This is why we're saying there was about a 30 to 40% chance earlier on today of seeing some thunderstorm activity tomorrow through Saskatoon in the afternoon. The chance has been slowly creeping up. Today's forecast, though, we're seeing things pretty sunny this afternoon. 24 for Regina and Saskatoon, 26 in Moose Jaw, 25 in Swift Current. Earlier in the day, we were talking about the risk of some thunderstorms down through Weyburn and Estevan. The chance has now gone down, so we're talking about a mix of sun and cloud. 28 degrees there, 26 through Yorkton, and 23 for Prince Albert. We're also talking about that heat dome that has been starting to build, and that is going to be bringing the heat for your weekend. All those areas lit up in gray are under that special weather statement talking about the heat on the way. Up in the northeast corner of the province, that's still regarding the air quality and the smoke that is still in the air. Now, how hot is it going to be? Well, take a look at your screen. 31 on Saturday in Regina, 33 on Sunday. Of course, that does not factor in the humidity, so it could be feeling even hotter. 26, though, on Monday, so that's going to be feeling like relief on that day. 23 on Tuesday with more cloud cover, and 25 on Wednesday. In Saskatoon, again, as I mentioned, the risk of seeing some late afternoon thunderstorms have gone up for your day tomorrow. Still expecting that high of 27, though. 30 degrees on Saturday and Sunday.
Shoulder up. Holland! Oh, wonderful!
Erling Haaland and Norway will take on England on Saturday in the World Cup quarterfinals. It's a nation of just 5.6 million and continues to produce world-class athletes. The questions are why, how, and what can we learn from their success? To answer some of those questions this morning is Norwegian philosopher, former athlete, and author of the Viking Code, Anders Inset. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
So you say there are 5 lessons on success and elite performance we can all learn from Norway, even here in Canada. So take us through a couple of those quickly.
Yeah, I think the perception of having big dreams and goals is important, but I write a lot about micro-ambitious. So the experience of progress and the actual experience of your own experience learning fuels that engine of growth. So you are not listed only by the wins and losses. That's a very important topic. The collectivism that you believe in, that if everyone around you play at a higher level and you have an aspiration to grow yourself, then you are better off if your team and everyone in your community and in your region plays at a higher level. You have that in Canada as well. We talk about the Norwegian word called dugnad, D-U-G-N-A-D, that you serve the collective and that lifts up the individual. Also, there is obviously the joyful part of it, and joy is not the outcome of celebrating success. It's the engine, the fuel. So first you enjoy what you're doing, and that is much stronger than the actual pressure performance culture that we have learned about. And those are just small things that I write about in the book that I think is a different way on how to produce a value-based performance culture in the 21st century.
Anders, some would call this a Cinderella story, especially those who don't follow football on a regular basis. It's been 28 years since they even qualified. Why do you say that this is not a Cinderella story?
Yeah, it has been, as you say, that decades in the making. So there was a law of Jante that we should not believe in ourselves. We should not believe that we are world class and everyone was kept the same. Something happened around 2000 where people started to go out and believe that they could become world class. But the thing is that if you look at Haaland, he has that humble, grounded way of living. And it's all about that you can think that you are something, that you have self-confidence and trust without believing that you're better than anyone else. And that was the birth of this culture and also this, I would say, generation that is now performing not only in football, but in beach volleyball, in triathlon, now also in hockey, in golf, in tennis. And that is something that has been driven by that transition. What is also, what has changed is that the whole, look at trying to build elite academies. Norway has gone a different way. They look at having and educating whole human beings. So they educate young kids to have a big toolbox. In a very rapid world that we live in today, the quality of adapting to new circumstances is very important. And that was something that happened around 2000 that has now led to this generation that has risen in everything that has nothing to do with snow, but are, larger sports around the world. So those are some of the cultural phenomena behind this success.
Interesting change, for sure. The obvious question I have to leave you with is this: can they beat England?
Well, 5 p.m. Eastern, it's Haaland against Kane for the Golden Boot. But it's also about that enjoyment and the collectivism. And, can we row together? Will that beat the English machinery? It's a game of, I would say, the biggest game in the history of football for Norway. And I think that we have a fair chance. As the coach say, if Norway play at the high level, at the peak level, and everyone are involved, we have a 50-50 chance. And that is not hope. That is a plan, and that is the outcome of a long-in-the-making progress culture. So I am optimistic, and I think we can advance.
As a Norwegian, that is a very Norwegian answer. You can thank you so much for your time. You can get a copy of the Viking Code wherever books are sold.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, let's check in with Janelle Lippi one more time. She's spending the morning surrounded by beautiful handmade finds at the Odessa market.
Good morning. I am coming back to you with Angela Lang once more. Now, we have had such a fun morning. Great opportunity for lots of local talent to show off their beautiful pieces. What is it like for you to be able to have a platform and a space for them to do that?
It has been nothing short of amazing. It's so wonderful to have the makers come in, share their story with me, talk to me about how they've worked their craft and, how they've maybe grown in what they're doing, and to be able to put it on display and give them their own space within the store in an affordable way has been great for them, and their feedback back to me is always special.
And that's one thing that always blows us away here too, is the fact that these are such affordable pieces and they are so stunning. Now, lots of talent from across Saskatchewan, really, but tell me a little bit about where some of these people are coming in from.
It's funny, we're not very far away from Regina, but so much of the talent is right here in Quad Town, which is Odessa, Vibank, Francis, and Sedley. So those 4 towns really do collaborate with a lot of different things, a lot of different businesses and sports teams, especially schools. So to have all of these people come together in one place is amazing. I would say almost half of the makers within this room are from Quad Town or still are actually living very close by.
All right, so let's try to get some more people out here appreciating all of this beautiful art as well. Where are you located?
We are located inside the community center, which is the former elementary school in Odessa, Saskatchewan. So we're only 35 minutes southeast of Regina, off the number 1 on the Highway 48. Quick and easy. We're kind of in between Regina and Montmartre.
All right, Angela, thank you so much for spending the morning with us.
Thank you again for coming out. It's always a pleasure.
All right, well, this has been so much fun. Come check it out for yourself. This is the Odessa Market. Lots of beautiful talent to come and appreciate.
As the summer blockbuster season kicks into high gear,
I need to borrow your hoverboard.
Many of the items from cinema's biggest hits ever are now going up for auction. For example, the hoverboards from Back to the Future Part 2.
We basically have one of every configuration hoverboard that you saw in Back to the Future 2.
Brian Chanis from Heritage Auctions gave me a virtual tour of some of the biggest pieces of movie history that you can now bid on over the next week or so.
Well, my little pretty, I can cause accidents too.
After the Wicked craze of the last few years, maybe you fancy one of the hats the Wicked Witch of the West wore on screen in The Wizard of Oz. When the first Wicked came out, Heritage helped sell a pair of Dorothy's red ruby slippers for $32.5 million and another of the witch's hats for around $3 million.
Come with me and you'll be...
And speaking of headgear, how about Willy Wonka's golden top hat in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Right now it has a bid for more than $250,000 online, even though this is where the hat was hiding.
It was from director Mel Stewart. He saved it. It was in his garage. And then we had since photo matched it.
Actually, another movie treasure was also hanging out in a director's garage.
There it is.
Otto, the inflatable autopilot from Airplane. He currently has a bid for $25,000.
Well, I hope the autopilot's been cleaned.
He has been cleaned.
It is useless to resist.
But an item expected to go into the millions is Luke Skywalker's lightsaber and more from perhaps the most quoted scene in the history of our parent company Disney, Star Wars.
I am your father.
Just before he is informed whom his father is, Luke's hand is slashed off by Darth Vader. And Heritage has the lightsaber, the fake hand, and the rig that Mark Hamill squeezed for the fake hand to fall into the depths of Cloud City. So the auction begins Monday at Heritage Auctions headquarters in Dallas. You can also start bidding online now. At last glance, Luke's lightsaber and hand have a bid for $1 million. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New. From scholarships to odd jobs, a lot of students have to get creative when it comes to paying for tuition. Well, Adam Sawatsky finds out why one international student at UBC is giving thanks to strangers he met as a baby.
If you happen to wonder what brought this American to Canada, Leo Bruce will tell you it's a story.
That's actually one of our favorite family stories to this day.
Before he reveals how the story ends,
I'm just a byproduct of this whole thing.
Leo suggests contacting his parents, Sharon and Matt Bruce, about how it all began.
Because we had a cute baby.
So cute that when Sharon and Matt went to a baseball game in Canada, the crack of the bat and the roar of the crowd were drowned out by baby Leo being oohed and awed by the strangers behind them, Lorraine Stevenson and Georgina George.
I remember Leo on my knee bouncing. Oh, he was so cute.
You know, after this exchange of pinching Leo's cheeks and stuff, they bought 3 tickets for Leo.
Lorraine and Georgina bought 3 50-50 tickets for baby Leo, and one of them was the big winner.
I'm like stunned, trying to give the money back. They're like, no.
So we're like, can we buy y'all a beer at least, right? And so they said, sure.
So Sharon and Matt bought the women a bunch of beer, and they all celebrated baby Leo.
It was a good day, a very good day. Such a nice couple. Yes.
And although Lorraine and Georgina didn't think much of it after that, Leo did.
As a kid, I was like, score. I'm like 9 months old and I got $1,000 in the bank right on.
But accepting the cash, Lorraine and Georgina said, came with a commitment.
They said use it towards his education.
So his parents invested the winnings, and every year he grew older, the amount of money grew larger. So by the time Leo graduated from high school, he had enough to pay for part of his tuition and couldn't be more grateful to spend it back in Canada.
It was like super appreciated, and here I am, almost done with UBC.
You're making us cry here.
Yeah, thinking about it.
Thinking about it.
No, it was just one of those crazy things you do.
Yeah. Beer, I don't think beer had anything to do with it.
And although none of these people have actually met in person since that day at the ball game, the adults did keep in touch via email over the years, and Leo is looking forward to the day that he can finally pay their kindness forward.
I think it's awesome. Like 20-some years later, instead of just it being a raffle ticket, it's like a connection that we have.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
That is truly amazing.
That's really great.
Man. Just paying it forward in so many levels. That's awesome. So saying dance like no one's watching, well, that's all fine and good unless you get swept off your feet. Catch it? The woman's getting battered in the background. Look at her go. She's trying to get her balance and it just gets worse. Oh, and she's back.
I am so not kidding when I say this was my 2-year-old in the Regina Beach waters on the weekend. Like, she just kept on getting knocked down, and I kept saying, do you want a break? Should we go back to the sand? She said, no, I swim in.
Swim in.
Time of her life.
Yeah, she did not care about those waves knocking her down.
Not one of those friends looked back and thought, oh, we should help Janine.
Yeah, no, they're all doing their own thing.
It's all good.
I have video to make.
All right, well, a band of volunteers in Taiwan working to protect local mangrove land grabs. They're doing the work monitoring population, collecting research data, and closing roads during peak migration periods. It's migration time right now, and one way they've found to protect the crabs is to build a special grab bridge. Specifically, the females are migrating, traveling to the sea to lay their eggs.
Okay, so we've seen this in different places. In Waterton Lakes National Park, they have little bridges for turtles and things to go under and over and protect the population. This is good news. Not crabby about that. We'll see you later. Enjoy the sun, but drink some water.